It is I, your host, Michael Garza. What's going on, everybody? So we're doing a little bit of an analysis today. We're looking at the stock market. We're looking at a lot of stuff going on currently. Give me just a few moments, though. Later tonight, there is a possibility that we may have Tim Smith on, depending on his availability. So later in the evening, we may have that happen. Let's see. It looks like the stock market's reacting in an interesting way. Global markets, at least. Not too bad, though. Not too bad. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Heck yeah, man. Well, it looks like things are looking up. Hey, how's it going, Annie? How you doing? It's good to see you on the chat. You guys will have to forgive me. I am just not exactly feeling it today. I'm feeling good. I just, sometimes I just wake up with, I'm doing better. Like, ever since I had that cold, I've had a little bit of a lingering cough. But it's gotten less and less over time, so I'm happy about that. So let's take a look at this real quick. New York Post is posting something interesting. Let's take a look. I don't even think there's audio on this. Hold on. Okay, here we go. So post this up real quick. Give me a few seconds, you guys. I got to put it up on the screen. So I guess 3 vessels have been struck. Yeah, let's see. 3 vessels have been struck on the Strait of Hormuz. So Iran's going to launch its most intense assault so far. And this is posted from the New York Post specifically. New York Post is pretty decent for the most part. Better than I will say better than the New York Times. I will say that way better than the New York Times for sure. New York Times can suck it. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be intense. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty intense. There was an Iranian soccer team debacle. What happened, yeah? I have not heard about that at all. Yeah, it looks like one of these ships was struck. Hopefully the crew and the ship is okay. This is crazy, man. Iran is just making things difficult for everybody, including themselves. That's the one thing that pisses me off about Iran. You know, Iran's really good at making things extremely difficult for themselves, and that's a problem. That's crazy, man. That's wild. How is the USA making it difficult for everybody? Iran has been making it difficult for every country around it for years. Iran makes things difficult for itself. I mean, Iran's terrible, dude. I can't stand Iran, dude. Give me one moment. So you heard 7, 5, and 2, more right before the rest left. Why do Americans say Iran? What, do you want to say Iran? Iran just sounds really stupid. I don't know. I'd rather say Iran than Iran. Iran. It's like, no, screw that, dude. I'm calling it Iran. Countries like Iran don't deserve to get their name pronounced correctly. That's all I got to say. They don't deserve it. No, I hate Iran, dude. I really don't like that country. I think it's a bad country. I think it's bad juju. I just think that they don't do anything right. I think that all they care about is funding terrorism and making everybody's lives hell. I think they're a bad country. I think Iran is a terrible country, without a doubt. I know there's going to be people who disagree with me, people who get pissed off at me for saying that, but I'm just speaking the truth. You know what I mean? Like, I'm speaking the truth here. I just don't have a lot of faith in Iran. I don't think Iran is a good country, no. Here's the thing, though, man. Iran is a big deal in a lot of ways. Iran is absolutely a big deal. So Trump says the Iran conflict could end very soon. Okay.
Could be the beginning of the end after President Trump said the Pentagon's work in Iran could be over soon after just a week and a half
hopefully
of overwhelming U.S. military force. U.S. Central Command said it has struck more than 5.
And we're going to look at some stock market updates here in a bit, but we're really just looking at the some of the Iranian updates and see what's going on here.
1,000 targets since the start of Operation Epic Fury.
We've carried out some of the most powerful and complex military strikes and maneuvers the world has ever seen. We're achieving major strides toward completing our military objective. And some people could say they're pretty well complete.
Mark Boyle joining us now from the live desk with more on this. It's kind of what we expected, obviously. We knew this was not going to last very long.
Well, naysayers were saying, oh, this is going to be forever. The president really came out in the very beginning, Jan, and said, look, it's going to be a couple of weeks. We're going to knock them out. And that's exactly what he says they are doing. However, Iran making it clear they're not going to go away quietly.
You know, and there's
some new
been
video in the newsroom showing the Iran drone strikes overnight. These drones, however.
And there have been a lot of people who have been saying this is going to be like a forever war. No, it really is only going to last probably 2 to 3 weeks. Trump doesn't want this to go on that long. Trump wants this to end sooner rather than later. That's the truth. Trump doesn't want this to be a forever war. Why would he? It doesn't look good on him. It doesn't look good on anybody. He knows that. But he knows that Iran is one of the big reasons why the Middle East is so unstable. Because they fund terrorism whenever they can. I think people are aware of that. I hope people are aware of that. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't know. But let's keep watching.
Were intercepted by the British Royal Air Force. This happened over Jordan and Bahrain. Now, more drone attacks also being reported this morning by the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait. Nations like Australia are dedicating more resources to the region this morning. They're sending more missiles and surveillance planes to the UAE to help stop with those Iranian strikes. Back here at home, the president says our military is really well set. They have a handle on the situation and suggest that things could be winding down very soon.
It's the beginning of building a new country, but they have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft.
I mean, basically, our military took down their military like that. It's crazy.
Equipment, it's all been blown up. They have no radar, they have no telecommunications, and they have no leadership.
Now, this morning, we are getting some new data from CENTCOM about the mission since it started. Here are some of the numbers right here for you. 5,000 targets hit, 50 ships have been destroyed. Those numbers likely to continue to go up. IRGC buildings exploded, intelligence sites hit, air defense systems knocked out.
We got Tiny Lion Gaming. What up, dude?
Navy ships and submarines blasted out of the.
Yeah, I think that this is, let's see, 5,000 targets hit, 50 ships destroyed. IRGC buildings, intelligence sites, air defense systems. Yeah, basically they have crippled the entire Iranian Navy, entire Iranian military overall. I don't think Iran stands a shot.
Water. We're expecting a major update from the Department of War later this morning. We'll bring you that live here on the National News Desk as the U.S. offensive in the Middle East continues right now.
All right, Mark, thank you. Also this morning, global markets around the world surging after President Trump vowed to keep shipping lanes open in the Strait of Hormuz. Last night, President Trump did warn.
Well, I will say that the markets kind of went down a little bit today. I was able to buy some indexes, which is good. I'm always an index buyer. You guys know that. Let's see. I love that Bitcoin's up, even though Bitcoin is Clitcoin. Bitcoin is hot garbage. So what do we say on this channel? Bitcoin is Clitcoin. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's keep going.
Iran, if they tried to choke off oil supplies, the U.S. would respond with force 20 times stronger than anything they've seen so far.
Bitcoin's Clitcoin. You know that. Hey, guys, double tap the screen to like the stream. Once again, double tap the screen to like the stream. The more likes we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So if you guys can, please subscribe to the channel and tap the like button. Like I said, the more likes we get, the better. It really does help the channel in more ways than you could ever imagine. You guys are keeping the channel afloat. I mean that. I mean it when I say it, dude. You guys are single-handedly keeping the channel afloat, keeping it rolling, keeping it feeling sexy. Yeah, you guys are amazing. Amazing.
We're looking to keep the oil prices down. We went artificially up because of this excursion into a very positive thing. I mean, this was an excursion that a lot of people wouldn't have done. I knew oil prices would go up if I did this, and they've gone up probably less than I thought they'd go up. But I don't think anybody thought we were going to be this quickly successful. This was a military success, the likes of which people haven't seen.
And the markets responded. Oil prices dropped on Friday.
Because, yeah, oil went up all the way to 115 and then, boop, down to 88.
Per barrel was around $90.
I will say, though, that if you were to play the volatility of oil, like actually playing the volatility of oil on the market, it's like if you play, like, oil futures or whatever the hell type of, like, ETFs are available to let you play the price of it. I dig it, man. I dig it. Give me a moment. I got to open up a window. Okay. Yeah, BBT Bob. Here's the thing, man. Prices have not adjusted too much either. It was like $4.05 per gallon anyway, and then it went to $4.20 or whatever, $4.26. So, you know, it's one of those things.
Before spiking to more than $115 over the weekend. Well, now the price per barrel back down to around $88. That's a dramatic swing in just days, but even with crude prices dropping, we could still see a temporary bump at the pump since retail gas prices do lag behind the market. Right now, the average price per gallon, about $3.54, up from $3.11 this time last week.
I mean, dude, honestly, gas prices in Oregon have constantly been around $3.80 to $4.26. We have usually higher gas prices. We're typically used to higher gas prices in this area, but that's okay.
Iran named a new supreme leader.
Let's check this out. This was released 33 minutes ago.
This is a methodical, deliberate campaign to destroy Iran's missile and drone arsenal, its ability to manufacture them in the future, to ever have nuclear weapons, or to threaten the Strait of Hormuz. And President Trump has been crystal clear: we will not allow a radical, revolutionary regime in Iran to threaten one of the world's most strategic and vital waterways.
Heck yeah, dude.
Senator Tom Cotton with us earlier, touting the commander-in-chief on Operation Epic Fury. And this just in, President Trump telling Axios that the conflict with Iran will end soon.
I'm hoping it ends soon, man. I don't want... Trump is saying there's practically nothing left in Iran to target in Iran. I mean, you basically destroyed their navy. You destroyed a lot of their air force. In fact, their entire air force. Iran has no ability to defend itself. Which, honestly, like I said, a weak Iran is a good Iran, because they have been the number one state sponsor of terrorism for a long time. So this isn't much of a war. This is an annihilation of their entire government. That's what I'm seeing here, at the very least. So,
as there's, quote, practically nothing left to target of the regime. Comes as CENTCOM
updated
this.
Honestly, that is wild. If you think about it, that is completely
Thank you
wild.
for subscribing to the Michael Garza Show. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Hey, thank you so much, PD Lane 1000, for subscribing to the channel. Let's give a shout out to PD Lane, everybody. Thank you so much for subscribing. I'm going to put your name back up on the board just because I want to thank you for taking the time to subscribe.
Thank you for subscribing to the Michael Garza Show. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Hey, thank you guys for taking the time to tap the subscribe button. Let's keep going, man.
This morning that the U.S. has taken out more than 60 Iranian ships since the start of the operation. Greg Palcott is live in Istanbul, Turkey. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Dana. Yeah, that's right. It has been a very active 24 hours of punches and counter-punches in this war involving the U.S., Israel, and Iran. Tehran and its allies striking hard at the U.S. in the region. Iran-backed militias firing 6 drones at what's called a U.S. diplomatic logistical hub near the Baghdad airport in Iraq. Reports are 1 made it through, but no word of casualties. As U.S.-based...
And we're getting subscribers up the beehole right now. So we're at 8,758 subs. Once again, we're at 8,758 subs. One of the goals is to try to get to 8,800 subscribers before the end of this particular stream. So I want to thank everybody for taking the time to tap the subscribe button, because it really does help our channel out. We're really trying to grow on YouTube and really try to increase our presence as much as possible. So whatever you guys could do to subscribe or tap the like button or whatever you guys could do, I mean, it really does help the channel out more than you could ever know. We're growing fast on YouTube. We're really buffering out. So we're going hard, dude. So I want to thank everybody for being a part of it, and let's keep going, man. But yeah, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It really does help out.
This is in Qatar, Bahrain, the UAE, and the northeastern Kurdistan region of Iraq also targeted. And there was another drone attack by Iran on a Kurdish Iranian militia base in Iraq. Tehran wants to make certain a talked-up land incursion by these rebels doesn't have a chance of getting started. This as Israel and the U.S. continue to pound dozens of locations in Tehran and across Iran, including military and security installations, an underground missile complex, police command centers, trying to break down the security infrastructure of the country. And trying to contain the fighting, U.S.-built Patriot defense systems seen being put in place today in southeastern Turkey. This is an especially vulnerable area with a big...
Damn, dude. Damn. And here's the thing. I really do think that this is going to end in, like, another week. But I'm serious, though, man. I think this is going to end in a week, and people probably think I'm crazy for saying that, but I think I'm right, man. I think I'm right. I think this is going to end in about a week. I don't see why it wouldn't, man. But we'll see, man. We shall see.
U.S. air base nearby. Dana, Turkish President Erdogan claimed today there was still a chance diplomacy could resolve this conflict, while at the same time acknowledging the region and the global economy could be close to turmoil. Back to you.
And there's so much going on. Greg, thank you.
And for more on this, we're going to bring in retired U.S. Navy SEAL officer Mike Sorelli. Mike, good morning to you.
Bill, thank you.
So I want to pull up these pretty wild satellite images showing some of the work Israel has been doing. They took out a bunch of Iranian jets that were essentially just sitting out there. You can see the before.
So you think it's going to end in a week because America's going to run out of ammo? Why would America run out of ammo? That makes zero sense to me. Why would America run out of ammo? Iran is already out of pretty much everything. We know. Look, we know that Iran is basically depleted. Iran's depleted, dude. Iran doesn't stand a frickin' shot. They don't stand a shot, man. They don't stand a chance at this point. I think it's crazy. Hey, thank you guys for subscribing. We're at 8,761 subscribers. Once again, we're at 8,761 subs. I want to thank you guys. Seriously, you guys are the main reason that this channel is growing at such a rapid pace. So the simple act of tapping the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner really does wonders. So don't forget to subscribe, keep it rolling, and keep it flowing, man.
Before and after, wiping out every jet that you can see in these satellite images. Mike, does it surprise you that Iran just kind of had their jets sitting out in the open like this? It doesn't seem like they got a whole lot off the ground since the start of this war.
No, it shows the paralysis of this regime in the IRGC military. But, you know, this campaign started as a...
I think that they know they can't contend with the U.S. So they're like, if we send out one of our jets, they're going to get shot down. That's what Iran is probably thinking.
Classic joint sort of suppression and paralysis sequence. We're now at a phase where it is systematic attrition through kill chain operations. That's combining ISR with precision strikes, with BDA, across multiple echelons in almost near real time. What it requires now is persistence and patience to continue to degrade their military, which completely destroys their ability to project power on a regional basis.
Democratic Senator Tammy Duckworth says this is all being done essentially for political gain. Take a listen.
Really? I don't think so.
What we have right now is a president who launched a war of choice without truly thinking it through.
I think this was a necessary war at this point. Not just a war of choice, but here's the thing, man. Presidents have been talking about Iran being the #1 state sponsor of terror. So we just knocked out the #1 state sponsor of terror. So what does that mean? That means Trump did a good thing. We crippled the one country that has been sponsoring terrorism for a long time. So that sounds like a good thing. And to all the liberals who say otherwise, I mean, you guys are just liberals. Liberals aren't even on the side of logic anymore, man. That's all I got to say. Liberals are not on the side of logic anymore.
Threw our troops into harm's way without any way of safeguarding them. You know, if Pete Hegseth actually paid attention in Officer Basic course, he'd...
Pete Hegseth is the man, by the way. And this lady doesn't know. I don't think this lady knows what she's talking about.
know that any operations order ends with what is the end state. There is no...
CNN is... No, that's MS Now. Oh, God, that's even worse. So, like, CNN is terrible, but MS Now is just as bad.
End state here that they've been able to articulate.
Mike, what do you think about Senator Duckworth essentially trying to lecture Pete Hegseth there?
Feckless. That's a feckless response. My only question to her is anything worth fighting for? The amount of blood, of American blood on Iranian hands is massive. From Beirut to even the soldiers I fought alongside in Sadr City who were killed by Iranian, what we call EFPs.
Yeah, Iran's terrible, dude. Iran has made life hell for everybody. So, yeah, I think it's one of those things where I'm glad that Iran's crippled right now, as far as their government's concerned. They need to be. They've been funding terrorism for so long. It's like, why is anybody even on the side of Iran right now? Even the Gulf countries are just like, dude, we're done with you. We're done with you, Iran. You've been such a piece of garbage for so long. Yeah. Yeah, Iran has been decimated. Iran so far has been incredibly decimated. If you guys can, though, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs before the end of the month. I don't know if we could do it, but I believe that we can. I actually do believe we can. So if you guys can, please tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It really does help the channel grow in a lot of ways. So please subscribe. Whatever you guys could do, man, it really does help. The simple act of subscribing pushes us up in the upper echelons of YouTube. We're currently at 8,763 subscribers. Once again, 8,763 subs. Be a part of the growth of this channel because we're getting bigger and bigger every day, man. We're getting bigger and bigger every single day, so we're not stopping anytime soon.
So, President Trump and this administration has been very clear about the objectives. Destroy any nuclear missile capabilities, degrade their military, remove their maritime threat to the Strait of Hormuz, and eliminate as much
Iran's screwed. No, I agree with that. Iran is completely screwed.
Of the regime leadership as possible. And they've accomplished that to a great degree. Again, it goes back to my point that right now we've got to support the administration as well as the military to let them continue these kill chain operations and put Iran into the dirt for good.
I couldn't agree more, man.
Trump has shown he's not scared to use special forces if necessary. Put them on the ground in Venezuela in what was an extremely successful operation. There's been some talk he might consider using them here in Iran, perhaps for Karg Island, where they keep a lot of their oil reserves there. You've done these kind of operations before. If you're one of those...
So to the people who are saying the USA is screwed, how? Why do you guys think the USA is screwed against Iran? Why? I mean, these are the dumbest statements I've ever heard. Why would we be screwed? Yeah, I don't know. The whole sleeper cell thing, it's possible. Yeah, but Iran sucks, dude. Iran's terrible. Iran's a country. But yeah, make sure you guys tap the subscribe button, though. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. We're at 8,762 subs. We're trying to get to 8,800 subscribers before the end of the stream. Once again, we're at 8,762 subscribers. So if you can, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. We're trying to get to that 8,800 before the end of the stream. I think we can do it. I think we can, man. Let's keep going.
Special ops guys, what's it like to get the call from your higher ups knowing you're about to go on a mission like that? Talk about like the nerves, the anxiety going into it.
Well, all that exists naturally, and I think the biggest fear is of the man to your left and to your right, and that you're going to do your job to protect them. But we live for this. These are commandos. These are hunters, and they know the noble pursuit behind what we're doing. Again, we are well versed in the history of Iran and how many American service members they have killed. And so there is a sense of pride that this generation is stepping up where other generations, to include mine, failed in addressing this problem. So they're on alert. And one misnomer is, President Trump is not going to do a large scale operation with troops on the ground. What we're talking about is limited special operations to either secure key infrastructure or for an example, secure nuclear fissile material. It's in and get out.
All right, got to leave it there. Mike Sorelli, thanks for coming on today, and thank you for your service as well.
Thanks.
Total stud, dude. Total stud. Oh, here we go. ABC News. Let's take a look here. I'm not the biggest fan of ABC News, but let's keep going.
This is what you need to know now. Deadly tornadoes ripping through the Midwest, leaving homes destroyed and power outages across 2 states.
Shit.
New images of a commercial ship on fire as Iran strikes 2 ships in the Strait of Hormuz, escalating the conflict in the region.
Iran's just making things worse for themselves, dude. They're just making things worse for themselves.
Fresh inflation data shows prices holding steady before the war, but rising gas prices could spark future pressures. Plus, former First Lady Jill Biden breaking her silence on her husband's decision to drop out of the 2024 presidential race. And scoring bananas.
She didn't want to let go of the power. Jill Biden did not want to let go of that power.
Scored 83 points.
I still can't believe Bam Adebayo got 83 fucking points, dude. I mean, good for him. Good for him. But I still can't believe it, bro.
Game. We have much more what you need to know now. I'm Rachel Scott from ABC News. It is Wednesday, March 11th. This is what you need to know. We'll get to the latest on the war.
Yeah, Iran's digging their own grave. Absolutely. Agree 100%.
With Iran in just a moment. But first, we do begin with the big story here at home. Storms and tornadoes turning deadly as severe weather moves across the Midwest from Texas to Michigan. At least 2 people have died from the storms in Indiana. Part of Illinois also suffering damage to homes and buildings. Alex Perez is in hard-hit Comanche County, Illinois.
Rachel, you can see all those downed trees behind me here. The powerful storm rolled in overnight, creating a path of destruction. Now, 2 people killed in Lake Village, Indiana. The sheriff in Newton County saying the area took a direct hit.
We have about a 2.5 to 3.5 mile stretch of damage. The heart of the damage seems to be right in Lake Village.
Many homes damaged, others completely destroyed.
Damn, dude, that's crazy.
At least 10 tornadoes were reported across 7 states. Emergency crews worked through the night checking for people that may have been trapped. For many, the process of cleaning up and rebuilding is just beginning.
Now the latest in the Middle East. Iran has escalated its attacks across the Persian Gulf. Projectiles hit multiple container ships in the Strait of Hormuz, including this Thai cargo ship, showing smoke pouring from the vessel. It's one of 2 ships which Iran says it hit Wednesday after allegedly ignoring warnings. Officials say Iran also launched drones near Dubai International Airport, where 4 people were wounded. Meanwhile, activists say a humanitarian crisis is now unfolding in Lebanon, where Israel is launching attacks on Iranian-backed Hezbollah fighters. More than 750,000 people have been forced to flee their homes. In Iran, thousands gathered in Tehran on Wednesday morning for the funerals of top Iranian military commanders who were killed in the recent U.S. and Israeli strikes and panel.
Yeah, well, that's not the majority of people. People want to see new leadership in Iran. They want to see new leadership in Iran, straight up, dude.
Is tracking it all from Tel Aviv.
Despite the success of the U.S. and Israeli military operation, Iran still has the capability to retaliate, not just with the missiles, but of course with the drones. Again, attacks throughout the Gulf region, which of course is of concern to U.S. allies, but also to U.S. bases. So yes, Iran's capacity to retaliate is diminished, but it certainly hasn't ended.
A new report on consumer prices before the war is now out. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says inflation held steady last month, a sign that price pressures have remained subdued despite rising energy costs. It comes as President Trump visits 2 states today, hoping to downplay the war's effect on the economy. Elizabeth Scholze breaks.
I mean, I don't think, look, it's going to be temporary, some of the effects, but things are going to go back to normal. You know, prices are going to stabilize, like the price of oil is going to stabilize. So to anybody who's saying that, like, oh, we're so effed because of this temporary war, I don't think so. I really don't think we're totally effed. I don't believe that in the slightest. So, you know, you guys could say what you want. You guys can go cray-cray and blah, 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 but no, I don't think we're effed. I think we're in a good spot, man.
Breaks it all down.
Rachel, this inflation report shows us prices are up for day-to-day essentials, including groceries, rent, childcare, medical services, and that's before the latest surge in the cost of gas. The overall inflation rate was 2.4% in February, on par with January, an improvement from a few months ago. When you look at categories where prices are rising, it's clothes, furniture, jewelry, in part because of tariffs on those goods. Next month's report will include skyrocketing energy costs, so prices at the pump are now up more than 60 cents on average for a gallon of gas since the war in Iran began. President Trump insists that these price hikes will be short-lived. He's heading to Ohio and Kentucky to deliver remarks on the economy. The White House has been touting higher tax refunds so far this year from the president's signature tax law. But some economists warn that if oil prices do keep going up, those tax benefits could be wiped out by the spike in the cost of gas.
In Washington.
Yeah, I mean, look, the price of gas is going to be temporarily up. I really do believe that.
There could be a rare bipartisan deal to address the shortage of affordable housing. 89 senators voted to
I don't think housing is going to be affordable anytime soon, you guys. I just don't.
advance a housing bill that could pass as soon as Thursday. The measure would ban large institutional investors from buying single-family homes. But even if it does pass, the bill still has to clear the House, and President Trump says he will not sign any legislation.
So how does that affect my REITs? Because I have real estate investment trusts that that I believe own single family homes. So those REITs are going to have to maybe potentially, they're not going to be able to buy single family homes and lease them out, basically. Then again, this is interesting. I am fascinated by this. So you're saying that the housing market's going to crash in September? I mean, look, if the real estate investment trust market crashes, I'm happy about that because I'm always buying in to the real estate investment trusts, so
until Congress approves his voter ID bill known as the SAVE Act. And new details about the Trump administration's
No, it's different. It's not the SAVE Act, it's the Save America Act. Totally different. Let's keep going, man.
Investigation into the 2020 election results in Arizona. A source telling us Homeland Security Investigations is now looking into the results. This particular division is traditionally charged with investigating drug smuggling and human trafficking. Arizona's Democratic Attorney General called it an unserious investigation that is based on nothing but conspiracy theories and lies.
I don't know, man. I think it's good to question elections. If you feel like there's something wrong, investigate it. Have third parties audit it.
DHS says they will not comment on any active investigations. Local officials insist there is no evidence of voter fraud. We have much more of what you need to know. Stay with us.
ABC News is a piece of crap. What I need to know.
Here's your daily briefing. Other big stories we are following on ABC News. Former NFL linebacker Darren Lee appeared in a Tennessee courtroom facing murder charges in the death of his 29-year-old girlfriend, Gabriella Perpetuo. Investigators say before calling 911, Lee asked the AI tool ChatGPT questions about injuries and whether a fall could cause puncture wounds. Detectives say Lee claimed that his girlfriend fell in the shower, but prosecutors argue evidence shows that there was a violent struggle. Lee's attorney said,
Jeez, my God, that's crazy. That's freaking wild, dude.
The state's case relied entirely on circumstantial evidence. Lee has pleaded not guilty.
Oh, Trump takes questions. Okay, hold on. Trump takes questions. Let's take a look here.
as you know, we're doing something that nobody ever thought was possible to do. Our military
The GOAT.
is the best. It's the most powerful in the world, and they're hitting them very hard. This is 47 years of abuse and killing lots of people, killing and maiming lots of people. What is it, Peter?
What more do you need to do militarily for this operation to end?
More of the same, and we'll see how that all comes out. Right now, they've lost their Navy, they've lost their Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft apparatus at all, they have no radar, their leaders are gone, and we could do a...
Dude, Trump Daddy, if you guys love Trump as much as I do, man, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. But yeah, if you love Trump as much as I do, man, subscribe to the channel. Let's go, dude. Let's go, dude. Keep it sexy. Keep it pumped. Pumped up like a bathmate, dude.
A lot worse to one another. We're leaving certain things that if we take them out, or we could take them out by this afternoon, in fact, within an hour, they literally would never be able to build that country back.
A new report says...
Honestly, yeah, a weak Iran is a good Iran. A weak Iran is a good Iran. Like, in this situation, they have been... I've said it once and I've said it again. I'll say it again. Iran has been one of the #1 state sponsors of terrorism. So, yeah. I don't know, man. That's the way I see it, though.
The military investigation has found that the United States struck the school in Iran. As Commander-in-Chief, do you take responsibility for that?
That is what?
As Commander-in-Chief, do you...
For what?
For the strike on the school in Iran. A new report says the military investigation has found it was the United States that struck the school.
Oh, really?
I don't know about it.
Are you talking to the CEOs of various oil companies, encouraging them to use the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, I think they should. I think they should. I think they should use it. In my opinion, look, we took out...
Yeah, how about the mines? I am curious about the mines on the Strait of Hormuz. I think that's a big deal.
Just about all of them.
I think that really is a big deal.
Mine ships in one night. We're up to boat number 60. I didn't realize they had that big a Navy. I would say it was big and ineffective. But every one of their ships, just about all of their Navy is gone. Bottom of the sea.
Crazy, man.
We don't think so.
Is Senator Thune listening to you when you say you want to pass the Save America Act? He says there aren't the votes to do it right now. What's your response?
Well, he's got to be a leader. You know, if he's a leader, he's got to get him. It's the most popular bill I've ever seen put before Congress. And it's voter ID and it's voter... You have to be able to be a citizen to vote. It's called citizenship.
That matters. That does matter. The Save America Act, man, it matters, dude. It matters. Voter ID matters straight up. And to anybody who doesn't believe that, I mean, I think you're a fool to not want to have some form of ID to show that you are an actual citizen of the United States, an actual person that should be in the United States. That matters to me. That matters 100%. And to those who say it doesn't matter, I mean, I don't know what your problem is. I don't know what your problem is, bro.
And we're also adding in no men playing in women's sports, no transgender mutilization of our children, and no mail-in ballots, fake mail-in ballots. We have none of that, except in the case of the military, etc. It is the Save America Act. It's the most popular bill I think I've ever put before Congress.
It does seem like a pretty popular bill in my opinion.
If the supreme leader remains the Ayatollah's son.
I don't want to comment on that. I don't want to comment. But I will tell you, I just spoke with various countries, the leaders of various countries. You'll have a list. And they said they've never seen anything like it. We have, and I built it during my first term, and I used it. I didn't realize I was going to use it this much, but We have the greatest military in the world by far. Nobody close.
Are you concerned about a domestic terrorist attack by Iran here, sir?
We're not invited to the Shield of the Americas. Mexico, Brazil, and Colombia were not invited to the Shield of the Americas. Why was that? And could they come in the future to the event?
I think they were invited. Maybe they didn't come. I think they were. I get along very well with all of them.
In Iraqi parliament, few days, members slogan, "Day to America, day to Israel." What is your response to them? What is your message for Iraqi government?
What did he say?
In Iraqi parliament, slogan, "Date of America, date of Israel." Member of the parliament.
Death to America, death to Israel. What's your response?
That's not a nice question.
Mr. President, did Spain give in after you told them
I mean, this is interesting, man. This is interesting.
that you would guide commerce ties with them? Are they cooperating with the United States?
Who?
Spain.
No, they're not. I think they're not cooperating at all. Spain, I think they've been very bad. Very bad. Not good at all. We may cut off trade with Spain.
You would guide all trade with them?
I don't know what Spain's doing. They've been very bad to NATO. They get protected. They don't want to pay their fair share. And they've been that way for many years, actually. Let me give you the good news. Let me give you the good news. The people of Spain are fantastic. The leadership, like you. The leadership, not so good.
Lebanon is under attack, and Hezbollah is making dangers for the Lebanese, and especially the Lebanese Christians. What is your message for Lebanon?
Well, we're working on it very hard. We love Lebanon. We love the people of Lebanon, and we're working very hard. We got to get rid of the Hezbollah. Has been a disaster for many years.
There's a lot of background noise, so it's a little distracting on this. So make sure you guys tap the subscribe button, though. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. So just tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. Like I said, it really does help the channel grow in more ways than one. You guys keep this channel afloat. I want to say that right now. You guys keep this channel good and spicy and beautiful. Keep it up, man. You guys are the lifeblood of this show, man. Just you guys taking the time to subscribe to the channel, man, it matters quite a bit. So please subscribe, and let's keep going.
Going up in Brownsville, Texas. What do you want Americans to know about that?
About what?
About the new oil refinery going up in Brownsville.
Oh, it'll be great. It's going to be the greatest anywhere in the world. There's never been anything like it. It's great that it's going up in Texas. You know, it's very hard to get refineries done. This will be like nothing else ever built. It's a great thing. Thank you for that question.
Pink brony bros, so we dance at the beer club.
Well, look, we've knocked out their Navy. We've knocked out their Air Force. We've knocked out all of their anti-defense.
I mean, I think it's a good thing that we're doing what we're doing. I mean, look, Iran doesn't deserve to be powerful. At all. Iran doesn't deserve shit. Their government's been terrible. Their government sponsored terrorism. I see no redeeming qualities in Iran, man. None at all, dude. Iran has no redeeming qualities on this one. Not a fan. Not a fan of Iran.
Taken out 60 mine boats, 59 mine boats. Nobody has ever seen anything like it. We have the greatest military in the world by far, not even close. But you know what? They've inflicted 47 years worth of damage to the world, and now they're paying a big price.
Mr. President, are you willing to withdraw the U.S. from Iran, even if they have not turned over and allowed the U.S. to seize their remaining...
I'm not going to answer that, but we have hit them harder than virtually any country in history has been hit, and we're not finished yet.
Arizona, why did the FBI seize records there?
Hey, thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. We're currently at 8,762 subs. Once again, we're at 8,762 subscribers. We're trying to get to 8,800 subs by the end of the stream, if possible. But yeah, if you guys can, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help us grow in a lot of ways, and makes me feel like I got a bigger dong than I do. I got a pretty small dong, to be honest. So if you guys can subscribe to the channel, it makes me feel bigger than I am. Sounds like the audio got cut off. Everybody's asking if I'm a Fed. Why are you guys asking if I'm a Fed? K-Fed. Kevin Federline, baby. You guys are a stud. But yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. So, yeah, whatever you guys could do, man. Just a simple act of subscribing. Send a gift. Subscribe. Send a super chat. Whatever you guys want to do. I'm a popo.
What they've done, and now they're paying. America produced refining what we done with oil refining. Yeah.
I don't know. Trump looks really cool, dude. He looks kind of like Tom Cruise style. You know, he's got kind of a Tom Cruise vibe right now. You know, I can't really hear all the questions, but I will say he's got max chat energy. He's got maximum chat energy, bro.
None of this would have happened under just so you know. Ready? A year ago, we were a dead country.
Okay, this was released about 3 minutes ago.
President Trump left Washington for a trip to Kentucky to talk about the economy. We told you about that. Now, he just spoke about the war with Iran and took questions from reporters. So let's listen into what he had to say.
And as you know, we're doing something that nobody ever thought was possible to do. Our military is the best. It's the most powerful in the world, and they're hitting them very hard. This is 47 years of abuse and killing lots of people, killing and maiming lots of people.
True.
What is it, Peter?
No, Iran's been terrible, man. Iran has been terrible.
What more do you need to do militarily for this operation to end? More of the same, and we'll see how that all comes out. Right now, they've lost their Navy, they've lost their Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft apparatus at all, they have no radar, their leaders are gone, and we could do a lot worse to one another. We're leaving certain things that if we take them out, or we could take them out by this afternoon, in fact, within an hour, they literally would never be able to build that country back.
A new report says that the military investigation has found that the United States struck the school in Iran. As Commander-in-Chief, do you take responsibility for that?
That is what?
Yeah, so that's the thing. I don't know if that reporter is lying or not. Let's just type in Iran. Let's just type in Iran. Whoa, Trump is live right now?
My opinion. And the great success we've had in Venezuela and all other places. Every place we've gone, we've had tremendous success.
Hold on. Is this actually live?
Say they're pretty well complete. We've wiped every single force in Iran out.
I don't think he's actually live. Maybe he is. Hold on. Okay, so they're saying
North Korean
Iran's
senior Pentagon reporter Louis Martinez.
Iran's new supreme leader was injured. Okay, let's type the light button.
Correspondent Selena Wang for more. How do you both? So, Louis, what's the latest on the reports that Iran's new supreme leader is injured and the violence in the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, Diane, the Associated Press is reporting that according to Israeli intelligence, they have information that suggests that the new supreme leader of Iran was injured in the initial strike on February 28th inside of Tehran, in that strike that on the compound.
Not surprising.
Where his father lived, and he was killed immediately, as were several other of his relatives. Now, we also have additional on-the-record information coming from Iran's ambassador to Cyprus, who also confirms that he believes that the new leader, Khamenei, was also injured in the attack. There have been also hints in some of the semi-official and state media inside of Iran that have made references to the wounded warrior, who they identify as the supreme leader, Mujtaba Khamenei. So new information coming out. It's unclear whether U.S. officials are going to be able to confirm this. Yesterday, I attended a news conference with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. He was asked about this, and he did not want to get into the status.
And Selena, President Trump told Axios today that the war will end soon.
Pete Hegseth, baby.
Because there's, quote, practically nothing left to strike. What else are you hearing about that?
Yeah, this was a really short interview with Axios. The president saying that this war is going to end whenever he wants it to, saying, quote, little this and little that. Anytime I want it to end, it will end. The president.
I think it's going to end soon, man. I keep telling you guys, it's going to be a quick end. I don't think it's going to last that long.
Also told Axios that Iran will not get off easy after targeting several countries in the Middle East. And the president continued to praise the ongoing military operation, saying that it's going great. Quote, we are way ahead of timetable. We have done more damage than we thought possible, even in the original 6-week period. Now, this just adds
Trump's on a roll, man.
Another layer of the mixed messaging that we have heard from the president and this administration. As the president has been signaling that this war is going to end very soon, his defense secretary has said that this is only the beginning. And when I asked the president earlier this week, which one is it, the president said, quote, both. These new statements from the president that there's, quote, practically nothing left to target, it raises the question of whether this president plans
Trump's on a roll, man.
To declare victory.
I think the victory is going to be very, very soon. Once the supreme leader is completely replaced, because there's no way in hell Trump is going to accept the son of the former Ayatollah as the new leader of Iran. That's basically a middle finger to America. America, we're going to find a way to do what we need to do.
Victory in this war without seizing the enriched uranium deep underground. The president had not ruled out the use of a small team of ground troops in order to do that.
If you guys can, though, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. Here's a few people who have subscribed over the last 24 hours. Just a couple. I was going to put them up on the board.
Thank you for subscribing to the Michael Garza Show. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Let's get everybody up on the board here real quick. These are just some people within like roughly 24 hours or more.
Thank you for subscribing to the Michael Garza Show. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Thank you, man. You guys are keeping the channel afloat. Just a simple act of subscribing, man. So these are people who subscribed in the last 24 hours.
Michael Garza Show. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Yeah. No, I don't think it won't matter.
Thank you for subscribing to the
maybe.
Michael Garza Show. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Yeah, I think there would be peace in the. I think honestly, a weak Iran is a.
Thank you for
peaceful
subscribing
Iran.
to the Michael Garza Show. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
But yeah, weak Iran is a peaceful Iran, in my opinion. Straight up. That's the way I see it, at least.
Thank you for subscribing to the Michael Garza Show. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
But thank you. These are people who subscribed in the last 24 hours. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to
Thank you
become
for subscribing to
subscribers.
the Michael Garza Show. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
All right, let's keep watching.
Martinez, Selena Wang, thank you both. And ABC News contributor, former senior CIA
Thank you
field
for
operative
subscribing
Darrell
to the
Blackler's
Michael
here
Garza
for more.
Show.
Hi, Daryl.
Don't forget
so,
to tap
again,
the
ABC's
subscribe
hasn't
button in
independently
the upper right-hand
confirmed
corner.
that Mujtaba Khomeini was injured in that same strike that killed his father. But if those reports are true, how could that affect the direction?
Thank you for subscribing to the
Iran
Michael
and
Garza Show. Don't
shout
forget
out
to
to
tap
Bob.
the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Thank you, my brony bros. You guys are my pink brony bros.
this war?
I don't think the direction will change at all. The Iranians have spoken. They've chosen their new supreme leader. We saw pictures of him live. He didn't seem
So his son's in a coma? Oh, Jesus Christ.
to be so injured that he couldn't be out amongst people. He could, in fact, have injuries, but it's not going to be anything that's going to stop the actual moving
So the rumor has it that he's been severely injured. Jesus.
forward the way that they want to move forward, which is to return to the old regime.
Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu is calling on Iranians to seize the moment, but Iran's police chief is threatening to kill anyone protesting in the streets. So what are you watching for in terms of organized opposition?
Well, that's just it. The opposition is not organized. They're disjointed. They're unable to speak with one another. They didn't really have communications between the internally anyway, between the different groups. So
Yeah, communication's completely cut off in Iran, man.
it's one thing to call for people to go out into the street and rise up and seize the moment from the air and from other places. It's completely different when you're staring down the barrel of a gun of people that you know are willing and looking forward to shooting you.
The president also told Axios there's practically nothing left to target in Iran. What do you make of that? And
Skinny Tubbs, what's going on, man? Skinny Tubbs says any country will fight to their dying breath to defend. Even the first president of Israel knew that. Rumor, the new fact. Skinny Tubbs, it's good to see you, bro. Crazy, though, man. This is crazy.
what are the next steps if there's really nothing left to hit?
Well, as a military intelligence officer myself who did targeting, I would suggest that there are a lot of targets left to hit. From the air, he might be correct in some areas, but there's no shortage of targets. Command, communication, and control nodes, infrastructure nodes, the cyber warfare. There's no. I don't understand that statement at all.
The former NATO Deputy Supreme Allied Commander in Europe tells ABC News even if President Trump declares victory, all it takes is for one drone to hit one tanker in the Strait of Hormuz, and in his words, the world's shippers will take fright. So what's the impact there, and what will it take to actually secure that passage?
The Strait of Hormuz has always been a choke point. It's always been a problem. Been a problem since '79. Of course, when the Shah's regime was in, there was no question about whether they were going to keep it open. But that is
It's interesting to see the movement of ships as little dots. Very fascinating.
Essential threat to the end of the Islamic Republic of Iran. And if they think that raising oil prices to $200 a barrel, which I think is the threat they levied today, then that is their last resolve. They can't fight it.
$200 a barrel. My God, that would be crazy. Dude, if oil gets to $200 a barrel, that would be pretty crazy.
That's another front, but they can bring the rest of the world to a screeching halt. And mining the Strait of Hormuz would be one of those mechanisms for achieving that.
All right, Daryl Black.
Yeah, no one really knows at the moment. Exactly. I agree with you, Annie, on that one, straight up. You guys, if you guys can, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 8,800 subscribers by the end of the stream. We're at 8,763 subs. So yeah, just make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you can. It really does help our channel grow. We're a little bit of a smaller channel for sure, but we're trying to get to 8,800 subs by the end of the stream. So whatever you guys could do to help out, we greatly appreciate it, and we're always grateful. We're always grateful on this end.
Blocker, thank you.
I mean, what's happening, man, is crazy. So Ricky Gutierrez is talking about this.
Markets are pumping today. Well, at least they're trying to. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Tech.
Now, I do like the fact that,
Now, I do swing trade a lot of small cap index ETFs. I swing trade a small cap US ETF, and then I also swing trade a international small cap index ETF. And the reason I do that is, one, small cap indexes are generally safe but very volatile. Not financial advice by any means, but let's take a look here. I did say that we're going to go over some stock market data, so this is basically what we're doing right now, is going over a little bit of stock market data. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, though. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. We just got one more sub. We got one more sub here. We're at 8,764 subs. Once again, 8,764 subscribers. We're trying to get to 8,800 before the end of the stream. So whatever we could do, man, whatever you guys could do to help out, we appreciate it. As always, you guys are incredible. You guys do make this channel grow. You guys make this channel go. You guys make me a happy man. I appreciate you guys. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, everything's a little bit down today, but honestly, not as bad as one would think. Somebody sent an anonymous survey. Are you happy with Tina Kotek's leadership? If not, what would you like to see improve? Tina Kotek may be worse than Tim Walz. I would like to see no more. I would like to see Republicans take over Oregon because Democrats don't know how to run anything. There we go. Yeah. So, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Bitcoin, my Clitcoin. Let's go, dude.
But solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Wednesday. As many of you guys might have seen, the CPI data report was released this morning, and our overall core CPI came in at 2.5% versus the previous of 2.5%. So overall, no change on core CPI. The same thing happened with overall CPI. If you did not see the news, we came in at 2.4% versus the expectation of 2.4 and the previous of 2.4. So other than that, the reports that we have coming up are tomorrow, we have the initial claims and continuing claims. And then on Friday, we have the GDP, the PCE, and the JOLT, which are the job openings. Just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of that. And again, if you guys didn't watch our live stream for the CPI data report, go back to our channel and feel free to watch it as we watch the market react to this report. Now, why did the markets take off right at the open? Oh, well, because we received great news from Trump. Trump stated this morning that Trump says that the war with Iran will end soon. Because
okay, that's good. At least the war is going to end soon, supposedly. So I think that there's going to look. I think that markets are going to go back to normal. In fact, I think markets are going to be better, if anything. So
as there is practically nothing left to target. Now, again, you'd be quite surprised to find out that Iran also stated today that Iran says that they're switching from reciprocal hits to continuous strikes and warns that they will drive oil prices to $200 a barrel.
Hey, thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button. We're now at 8,766 subs. Once again, we're at 8,766 subscribers. We're trying to get to 8,800 subscribers by the end of this particular stream. So if you guys can, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help the channel grow in more ways than one. Let's keep watching.
Iran says that the U.S. will not be able to control their oil prices. We won't even allow 1 liter of oil to reach U.S., Israel, and or their partners. Any vessels or tankers bound of them will be legitimate targets. Iran appears to be shifting their military strategy as oil prices have declined. And again, there's many different sources that support this. I actually believe it was a video of them speaking, one of their sergeants, it looked like, from the Iranian military stating this. Iran won't let or allow a single liter of...
Dude, Iran's getting serious, dude. I don't know. Here's the thing, though. Iran's been very crippled at this point, and I think that the U.S. is going to cripple them even further. I mean, that's real, dude. It's real, it's real, it's real.
of hostile oil to pass the Hormuz. So Iran says that strikes will be continuous from now. Again, but Trump said that it's pretty much over. Now, again, the thing that I want to remind you is that Trump stated this 2 days ago when he saw that markets were negatively being impacted. As markets aggressively sold off, he tested the idea of, oh, the Iran war is pretty much over, pretty complete. Right? He saw the positive catalyst that had in the market. And now he's using it again. You guys let me know down in the comment section what you think. Is the Iran war actually over? And if it is, then you might just want to short oil, right? Because oil...
I think it's close to over, dude. I mean, like, they in a span of a week, the U.S. military has basically destroyed virtually the entire Navy of Iran. Destroyed their missile complexes, destroyed their Air Force. I mean, like, what else can you do at that point? I mean, Iran's basically screwed at that point, man. They got nothing going on. Iran has nothing going on at that point. I mean, ask yourself the question, what can they really do?
Prices are still pretty elevated. And if the war is actually over, then oil prices will only continue to drop because the war is over, right? But I promise you that you won't short oil at these prices. Not that you didn't, but at these prices. Because oil prices are likely to rise, especially as more uncertainty presents itself. And again, that's the thing that I want to remind you is please make sure that you are aware of not just what Trump is saying, but the implications that are actually currently being had on the market, right? On top of that, there is good news when it comes down to oil. The IEA has approved releasing 400 million barrels of crude oil reserves in an effort to lower prices, the largest emergency release in history.
That's a lot of barrels of crude oil
being put into effect.
That's a lot of crude oil, man. That's going to manipulate the price for sure.
To try to alleviate the pressure when it comes down to these higher oil prices. The thing that I wanted to show you in today's CPI data report was that fuel oil. It was even captured in the month of...
And Trump is aware. Trump was well aware before starting this war that prices of oil were going to go up. I mean, like, he was well aware of that. He knew that was going to be a reality. And so he did what he had to do. Absolutely 100%.
February, because again, that was the month that was just released. You guys could see that the biggest increase, right, for this line item right here, February 2026, the biggest increase that we saw was 11.1. And what was that with? that was with fuel oil. So you are paying more at the pump because of what's going on in the Middle East. Now, again, if fuel oil prices continue to go up, then obviously that will have a negative implication, not just in your pocketbook based off of what you're paying at the pump, but also in the inflation rate. Something to take into consideration that can have more negative implications to the overall market. So again, if you're bullish that markets are, going to recover, Iran war is over, and oil prices are going to drop, you have the option.
Yeah, I think the war is going to be over very quickly. I really do.
In the market at the
Like, people think I'm crazy, but I think we got maybe 2 weeks tops of this war. Like I said, it's crazy what the United States military took out Iran, basically.
Levels, or if you have the option to short oil at these levels. If you think that oil prices will continue to rise and there's still uncertainty in the Middle East, then at that point...
See, here's the thing about oil. I don't like trading the price of oil because even though I love trading volatility, I'm really one of those guys that I love trading silver and gold. Those are the two metals that I love swing trading, right? I love swing trading small cap stocks in the US, in index, small cap index fund ETFs for US and international separately. I do swing trade the VT a little bit. That's a fun one to swing trade. I love swing trading the VT, but it's not as volatile as I'd like it to be. Hell yeah. Oh, nice. Tracking my package real quick. Let's track a package. Okay. Let's keep going, man.
Again, there's the opportunity to be able to buy the dip on oil if you see it to be that, or to be able to short the markets or stay cash if you view them to be possibly at an overbought range. If you look at this on the 30-minute time frame, you guys let me know what you think. We're testing a common resistance range here, and we have a common support range right around 590 to 585. Again, looking at larger time frames gives you a bigger perspective of overbought and oversold levels. And there is no question that we are approaching a previous resistance range. Reminder, patterns tend to repeat.
I mean, this is interesting stuff.
Themselves. They don't always have to. I also wanted to give you guys a heads up. We have a few runners this morning. We have Oracle running up 12.11%. We have NBIS running up 15% for a possible overbought reversal. And then we have HIMS running up. This one's up 15%.
See, here's the thing. I don't like trading individual stocks. I like trading index ETFs. Index ETFs are a little more stable. Seriously, index ETFs are a little more stable. Even the small cap ones. Like, I'm a big fan of the small cap US ETFs. The one that I have is like the Schwab one. It has like 1,800 indexed small cap companies. And then I got, these are not endorsements of these ETFs, by the way. Then I got the SCZ, which is an international small cap one that I particularly like. Let's see. But yeah, no, a lot of these companies, let's take a look. CZ. Yeah, so it's really fun to be able to swing trade, small cap ETFs and stuff like that. But yeah, no, give me a moment.
Here we go.
Make sure you look at the different time frames, as again, they give you different perspectives. Some of these are just running aggressively based off of news that was released today, and some is based off of continuous news. Again, I'll do my part in keeping you guys up to date, not just with what's going on in the Middle East, but also different opportunities that are presenting themselves in the market. Whenever it is that you're ready to tune on into our live trading sessions, again, I do trade live every morning at market open, and it's the second link in the description down below if you want to learn more about our LPP team, what's included, and how to access our daily live trading sessions. Again, by clicking that second link down below, you can sign up today and watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow. I appreciate you guys' time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this Ricky Gutierrez guy. He's a day trader. Like, I'm a swing trader, but I don't know. So Business Basics is saying that Iran's new supreme leader health crashes. Uh-oh. So this is all rumor, by the way. I don't know how true this is.
Iran's supreme leader is
Now, this is what Business Basics is saying. I don't know how accurate this is, but let's take a look.
missing. The biggest banks just froze every account, and the regime is going bankrupt. Yesterday, hundreds of Iranians woke up to find they couldn't access their money. ATMs were down, websites were blocked, and branches were empty. The desperation is starting to show. Customers of Bank Shepa and Bank Melli received an SMS. Accounts locked, no explanation. The regime is calling this central bank technical upgrade to communication switches for network stability. Whatever that means. If my bank sent me
That sounds
that
like
message,
absolute
I'll
crap,
be
dude. But let's keep going.
losing my mind. This is almost certainly the regime freezing enormous sums of money taken directly from its citizens to ensure its own survival. Now, in a second, we'll talk about where this money is going. But as you guys can see, Iranians are being robbed blind by their own government as it clings to power. And this is not the first time. In fact, this whole crisis traces back to one man, and he's connected to the new supreme leader. Remember why January...
Hey, thank you guys for subscribing to the channel, though. The more subscribers we get, the better. Tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. We're currently sitting at 8,766 subscribers. We're trying to get to 8,800 by the end of the stream. I think we could do it, but even if we can't, I just appreciate everybody's efforts and trying to help the channel grow. You know, you guys are amazing.
protest started? Well, Iran had to devalue its currency because a bank collapsed. That bank was called Ayanda Bank. The man behind this Ayanda Bank was Ali Ansari. If that name sounds familiar, it's because we recently covered him. Ali Ansari is the same Iranian businessman who's close friends with the new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. In fact, Ansari was the front man buying hundreds of millions of dollars in property for Mojtaba all across Europe. $150 million in property in London alone. He's connected, very connected, and that's going to matter. Because you see, Ansari has been an entrepreneur, I guess you can say, all this time. He's been in
Okay, I have no idea. This is kind of boring. Screw this. Oh.
U.S. simply
So, U.S. pulling out of Iran war? What?
provided the intelligence and military support for the operation. Israel took them out. They provided. Now, of course, they're working together on this. Sure. But this is where I'm at. When they asked me a question, they said, do you think they should kill Khamenei? If you kill Khamenei, the supreme leader, you know, he's 86. He's about to be dead here soon anyways. But if you take him out, and now you take out 50, it's like in the mob war. If all of a sudden you took out the boss, the underboss, the capos, the consigliere, you better take out the entire family.
You should.
You can't let them stay because this guy that's left behind, did you guys see the clip there in the cardboard? I think everybody saw this clip. People thought this was initially when I thought this was South Park.
Huh.
But by the way, have you seen this, Brandon, or no? So this is them celebrating their new supreme leader. Press play. Okay, turn off the music, Rob. So this is not AI. This is real. At first, I said, there's no way.
This is so, what the frick am I watching, dude? Oh, my God. Honestly, a weak Iran is a good Iran. As long as Iran military can't do anything to anybody, I mean, the Middle East is basically safe. A weak Iran is a good Iran. That's all there is to it, man. Cole Olds is saying, you're a schizo Odin. Dude, Odin has been such a piece of garbage. I don't know what Odin is on. I think Odin is doing a certain type of drug, allegedly. And I think he just comes into the chat and he just spews off garbage. Odin sucks, dude. Odin, I'm sorry, man. You're pissing me off.
This is real. Can you go to the comment section on the bottom and go to one of the groks saying, is this real? Okay, can you go to keep going. Okay, go to that one right there. This clip is from IRGC Allegiance Ceremony of Mojtaba Khamenei, new Supreme Leader appointed March 8th through the 9th after his father Ali's death in strikes. He didn't appear live, so they used the cardboard cutout. This is grok. Broadcast on Iranian state TV from Tehran. The short version is one circulating widely. No longer raw footage is publicly available. So what's the point? So you took them out. Now the son is left. You killed his father. You killed his wife. You killed his mom. You killed his sister. You killed his nephews. You killed his sons. You killed his, one of his kids. I don't know who else it was that was killed. Now he's going to stay. And you're going to let him stay?
Yeah.
I think if you've gone this deep, I think you either have to go finish the job or you should have never done it this way in the first place.
Because the new guy is bitter with a vision. He's bitter with a cause. The new guy, with all of that around him.
Let me flip it back around for a second. Let's flip it back around.
This is wild, man.
So they're enemies of ours. They hit the White House. They blow up the president, God forbid. They then hit a school near one of our military installations and kill all the daughters.
So Odin, I think, Odin keeps coming back to our chat, and I'll tell you why he does. The reason Odin keeps coming back is because every other chat has blocked him except for mine. You want to know why I don't block him? Maybe this is his only place to vent. Odin, if this is the only place you have to vent, just keep venting, man. Do your thing. Just know that whatever you're going through, man, I hope you're doing better.
Of our military people. And then they hit New Jersey refineries, which are very close to Manhattan. They blow up the refineries and they...
If you guys can, though, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs by the end of the month. Once again, we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So please don't forget to tap the subscribe button to keep the channel flowing, to keep the channel going, man.
Send black smoke into one of our most populated cities and they choke all the people. Okay? And how is the United States going to react to that? So
I'll
just
give you the answer
flip it around.
Oh, no problem.
You're good.
Okay, are we small or are we big? Are we the more powerful one or are we the underdog? Are we the favorite? Because there's a big difference,
yeah, okay,
right?
So let's go through both, Patrick. So go ahead.
for it.
Well,
Tell me if we're the favorite.
I think if we're the favorite, we're going to go absolutely crazy like we did in 9/11.
You have to destroy them.
We're going to go crazy like we did when they knocked down the Trade Center and bombed the Pentagon. So I think that's number one. If we're smaller than them, I think we're going to try to guerrilla tactically terrorize them.
I agree.
Those are the two things.
They went after what's most vulnerable, though, because they went after the surrounding countries that we're very dependent on in a lot of ways. You know, if you take out the oil or the water there, the desalinated. Yeah, desalinated water there.
Let me help you pronounce it. Desalination. Go ahead.
That's the whole petrodollar system. Like, the reason the dollar has value is because of the oil that comes from the Middle East, and everybody has to buy oil in dollars. So, I mean, I'm curious if they anticipated Iran going after the surrounding Middle East countries like that. And I'm curious if they anticipated Iran shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. Like, I would imagine in wargaming the thing, you would predict that, but they're not reacting as if they predicted it. So, those are the things I'm curious about.
Well, I would say I don't think that they predicted that, and I think that
the Hormuz or the bombing the neighbors.
I both.
Really? You don't think they thought that was going to happen?
No, because I think they looked at the 12-day war from last year. They looked at the Soleimani hit in January of 2020 where they took out the general.
Yeah.
And they said that they're going to try to keep the regime together and they're going to measure the response. And I think what the president was looking at is, okay, all that's fine. Let's remove some of these clerics and get a secularist in there. And he's a deal maker, okay? And you like or dislike Trump. Here was the deal. You're making money off drugs and you're making money off oil and you're heavily sanctioned. You're Venezuela. I'm going to take the sanctions off. You're going to help me slow down the drugs into the U.S., and I'm going to triple the pay for everybody here, including your army generals. And they said, let's do it.
Venezuela's not Iran.
Okay, and then the next moment they come in and they take Maduro. One night, no bloodshed. Yep. They're not even fighting them.
Yeah.
Venezuela's not Iran, but I think the president thought that there would be a way to create some secularism as a result of degrading them. And now the question is, if you can't create this secularism, what's the next step? I think the plan B is blow them to smithereens so that they're totally degraded. But here's the problem with that. You don't know where the uranium is, and you don't know what...
That's true. I mean, they probably transported the uranium to some, like, underground facility that maybe the U.S. has no idea about. But let's keep going, man.
What they've got in these tunnels inside those mountain ranges.
To me, if you're this deep, if you're in this deep, and this is what happened, there is no turning.
Honestly, in a little too deep, in my opinion. I think that the U.S. is in way too deep on this. But I think that we're pretty much at the end stretch already, which is crazy. Iran couldn't put up a fight against us at all. Like, that is just the difference between the two militaries, and it's quite insane.
Around. If you're going to now do what? Okay, hey, we just killed 50 of your leaders and relatives. Okay, guys, can we not negotiate? Yeah, look, come in and negotiate. How would you emotionally walk into the negotiating room? How would you be able to? You're like sitting there saying, we're going to take every one of these guys out. Do you think this made the Middle East safer?
No.
Do you think this just made tensions go lower?
I think that, here's the thing. I think Iran is screwing itself by not surrendering. Iran is absolutely screwing their own country by not surrendering. Surrender now and it's all fine. Just surrender. I know nobody likes to wave a white flag, but in this instance, there's no hope. So, sometimes the best option is surrender.
You think, and by the way, let me ask a question maybe in a different way. For us, we're out all the way out here in the Western Hemisphere. We're not worried about Iran. They don't have anything that could come to us. The only way they can, I know Iran's got a good-sized embassy in Mexico that they built in 1964 under the Shah, so who knows what they're going to be doing, their relations with cartel. You have a lot of different ways to come and try to attack us, right? But here's a question for you. You know, to the community that says Israel has influence over what America does and Israel's going to negotiate on behalf of what's important to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Israel is sitting there, Bibi is sitting there, seeing where it's at right now, saying he feels safer for his people? Meaning, say...
no, probably not. Probably not.
Trump comes out and says, guys, the war is over. Strait of Hormuz, oil prices are not going to go. This is not going to be the tanker war of 1984, 1988. We're not going to have the prices go up, 400%, that they have to come in and supply the insurance. We're going to protect. We're going to take care of everything. You don't have to worry about this stuff. Okay.
Hey guys, if you can though, please subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers we get, the better. So just tap the subscribe button in the upper right hand corner. Please, I'm begging you. I'm on my knees, man. I'm on my knees. Well, almost on my knees. But yeah, if you guys can, please subscribe to the channel. Tap the subscribe button in the upper right hand corner. It does help the channel grow. I just appreciate every single person who's been a part of the show, been a part of the journey. And yeah, you guys do make this. You guys make this show possible. You guys make this show better. So just the simple act of people subscribing, man, it does help a lot. So I appreciate all you guys, all y'all. No, you guys are amazing. Thanks for subscribing, though. Like I said, we're at 8,766 subs. We're trying to get to 8,000. We're trying to get to 8,800 before the end of the stream, if we can. If not, no big deal. I just appreciate everybody for taking the time to help the channel grow in more ways than we could ever imagine. And just a simple act of subscribing, man, it goes a long way.
Because he's thinking from what? Market standpoint. Markets down, midterms, approval. Because, Trump's a data guy, so it's always looking at what approval rating. And then China, he's trying to get China's negotiating going. But in this case, if Trump, my opinion, if Trump walks out of this and says, we went in, we did our part, we're scored away. Do you know who's screwed if Trump walks out of this?
Yeah, Israel's
one
in trouble.
country. Israel is screwed. Now, Trump may say, you're not my number one priority. Americans are my number one priority. If Trump walks out, you just dropped the bomb, killed 50 of the biggest leaders, and they're your neighbors. And they've said in the next 25 years, we're going to do everything we can in our power. He said this in 2015. Khamenei said, to make sure that Israel doesn't exist. He said this in 20.
Yeah, I mean, like, at this point, Iran's become an enemy of Israel, so
2015, so he said
Might as
25
well.
years. That's what? Between 2015 and 2040.
And by the way, I'm not a big fan of Israel, just as a heads up. I do not take Israel's side on these things. I think Israel's terrible, but let's keep going, man.
You don't think they're sitting there thinking about... So Israel, in my opinion, officially, they've always been a target, but it just went up. So what is Bibi thinking right now? Is Bibi thinking, I got to make the phone call and convince this guy to continue to finish this war? If not, I'm not safe.
Yeah, he's thinking this is the first inning.
I think Bibi right now, Bibi's team is sitting there right now saying, guys, we can't... You think Bibi wants the war to stop? Guys, we got... Let's go. Let's go. It's like, no, not right now. I'm seeing what's going on with the economy. I don't think, the part where you're saying with the disconnect between the two, if this stops today,
it's worse than
first of all, if it stops today, it's worse for Iranians, the people who are there. It's terrible for Israel. I think it's terrible for Israel first and the Iranians. Those will be a tide for me. But Trump may simply say, look, man, that's your problem. We did our part. We gave you the intel. If you want to wrap it up, you have the opportunity to defend yourself. But I'm not going to come out here and screw up my deals that I'm trying to do with Russia, with China, with Putin, with Xi. Xi's coming. They're having a meeting end of the month, I think, March 31st.
Jaipeng, dude.
First, they got a meeting that's scheduled, if I'm not mistaken. I think the country that it's in the worst situation today, if this stops, I think, in my opinion, is Israel's first.
Yeah, we're in too deep, though, because now, we see what
We may get out, though, what I'm saying. U.S. may say, by the way, if Trump all of a sudden says, I'm out, that's it. This is how much I'm helping you. If he says, I'm out. Because
I think Trump will want to finish the job quickly, though. So I think he's going to work with Israel pretty tightly. And they're just going to try to get this out of the way. Destabilize the Iranian government. That's the way I think it should be done. The Iranian government deserves to be destabilized. If you guys can, though, please subscribe to the channel. We are a smaller channel. We're trying to get to... We just got more subscribers. We're at 8,769 subs. Once again, we're at 8,769 subscribers. So if you guys can, please tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. We're really trying our best to see if we can get to 8,800 before the end of the stream, but we're trying to get to 10,000 subs before the end of the month. I think we could pull that off. It's going to take some work for sure, but I like the direction. I like the direction the show's going in, so I think we're on the right path, man.
They're realizing you got 200,000, IRGC troops. Okay, this is not Venezuela that you're going to be able to do the rewards for justice that whatever the CIA runs to give million to 25 million bucks to convert them.
Yeah.
Then you have the 95 million, 93 million Iranians that don't have guns, don't have weapons, don't have a way to protect themselves. So what are you going to do? Then you have the Strait of Hormuz. The longer it goes, prices go to 200.
Oh, snap. We just got to 8,770 subs. Once again, we're at 8,770 subs. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Bucks. Midterms around the corner. American people are saying, wait a minute. Like you see the videos being posted, gas prices in some parts of LA, $6, $7, $8, right?
Yeah.
You think these videos are good for him? No.
No, but
so,
but how does the price of oil get fixed if he pulls out now? Because I imagine they're on a vendetta now because of what was done to them. So I imagine they're going to cause havoc in the region.
They is who?
Iran. So
what is Vic? Okay, so why don't we do this? Let's talk about this.
Yeah, and I think Iran's going to go they're going to try to go scorched earth. They're going to try to cause as much trouble as they can because I think they're aware that their government's screwed. So they're just going to go, it sounds like they're going kamikaze a little bit. That's what it seems to me, but I could be wrong. Let's keep going, man.
What's victory to Iran? IRGC, not the people. What's victory to Israel? What's victory to U.S.? What would you say? Tom, I'll go to you first.
Victory to Iran?
Israel, U.S.
The U.S. backs off in any way.
I think so.
And then they can say, even if they're destroyed, even if we took
They're still in charge.
Kahar Island and held it. No, even if it's all the stuff that's there. If we back off and the new supreme leader is there, they win.
Yeah.
Because it means the regime hasn't changed.
They
It's
win
just a
by
new-
not losing.
They win by not losing.
By the way, what do you do if you're the supreme? What do you do if you're leader of Iran and the U.S. backs out? What do you do on TV? What do you say?
Yeah.
So you
run all the fake videos.
What do you
and
say?
You say we knocked down airplanes and the great Satan ran away.
Easiest propaganda.
You do what Kim Il-jung did in North Korea with all the propaganda videos after Trump visited him a few times. Okay, keep going, Tom. So go ahead.
Give the other two.
That is the victory for Iran. The victory for U.S. is complete regime change, and this, a secularist comes into power.
So Iran, they stay in power. U.S. regime change, not collapse.
No, collapse and a new secularist.
Oh, so collapse, not change, because regime
you gotta get them on the path
So
back to
victory to
1978.
U.S. is collapse. How about to Israel? Same.
Israel wants to see that the victory for U.S. is the victory for Israel, but Israel really wants. Look, ideally, Israel needs everyone to be Jordan. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen in Syria. And so they need crippled states.
So what is victory for Israel?
Israel is that Iran is a crippled state with no ability to attack it. Unfortunately, that turns Iran into the world's largest Somalia.
That is true. I mean, at least Israel will be on the front lines on this one. That is good. Look, I'm pro-America first, overall. So,
with warlords and districts taking.
Okay, well, there's a lot there. So I agree with the failed state because I think they feel like they can manage a failed state better. But in their way long-term interest, Trump's vision is right. So let's go over the different things. If we pull out, they'll declare victory. The IRGC will rebuild itself. It will stiffen its repression internally, which will really cause great anguish for most of the population. That's them. The Israelis, Tom's point, they want a failed state because, again, you can see their interests diverging from the United States. And for us to win this thing, and unfortunately right now, as a money manager or somebody that studied this stuff, I don't see us winning this thing the way we would like to win it, Patrick. But if the optimal Elysium field winning, they topple, a new government is formed that is moving towards the West and is more aligned with the Gulf nations, and you have this whole brand new configuration. And then this summit meeting becomes very interesting because Trump goes to him and says, knock it off with the rare earth minerals, President Xi. I'm going to send you as much oil as you need, not just from Venezuela and not just from Iran.
So I think U.S. is trying to make peace with China, because while we're battling Iran, we don't need China to be battling us. You know what I mean? That doesn't need to be happening. So this will be interesting, man. This whole war in Iran, I don't know. Freaking Iran, bro. Trying to make sure I understand all of it. It's all too crazy.
Which is where you've been getting it now. I'm going to send it from everywhere. You're going to have lower prices, but I need the rare earth minerals, and we're going to compete with each other, and I'm going to tariff you, you're going to tariff me, but we have to stay in cohabitation on planet Earth, even though we have different systems. So that's the hope for me. But what I think the most likely outcome is that
I hope China stays out of the way. I really do. Will they? Not sure yet.
that the regime is completely degraded. The Americans pull out. Oil prices go down, as we said earlier in the show. And the Israelis are sitting there simmering, saying to themselves, okay, we're going to have to do this another way. I mean, they're going to have to, someone's going to have to find that uranium, because these people are fixated on destroying Israel, and they've been saying it repeatedly. And I'll put it to everybody on this panel and you as our host: if you were the prime minister of Israel, you would have no choice to stay on this, Patrick, because you have to protect.
I agree. I agree for them.
Have to protect your country.
I agree for them. The question for me is, in your eyes, is the victory for Iran the same as Tom's?
Oh, you guys, make sure you guys subscribe subscribe to the channel. My goodness. But yeah, I just don't think that this war is going to last too much longer. I really don't. I mean, like, with all the data I've analyzed, I mean, Iran has been barely able to put up a fight, and I don't think that Iran can win against the U.S. and Israel. So I'm still saying that surrender is your best option in this instance. Surrender. The Iranian government just needs to surrender. I mean, that's the logical conclusion. I mean, I think Pat Bet-David's crew is overcomplicating a lot of this shit. And, yeah. I don't really agree fully with Pat Bet-David's crew. Like I said, I do think that they tend to overcomplicate things a little more than they need to. But, yeah. I'm hoping that this turns into a peaceful situation, but we'll see. We shall see. I don't think it will, but I hope it does.
Same thing there.
Yeah, but
how is Iran
again,
won?
I was just adding some flavor to what Tom is saying. Right. They're gonna stiffen. They're gonna put a big hurt on their public. This is gonna be worse for their public. First of all, it's gonna be a way poorer nation.
Oh, by the way, if you guys can, please subscribe to the channel. If you guys agree that, I think that this is going to be bad for Israel too. I think Israel's going to get kind of screwed over by doing this. But yeah, if you guys can subscribe to the channel, the more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow in a lot of ways. But yeah, we're at 8,770 subs. Once again, we're at 8,770 subscribers. So I appreciate everybody for taking the time to subscribe to the channel. You guys have been insanely incredible. You guys have made this show happen. You guys have made this show what it is today. So just a simple act of subscribing, man, it goes a long way, and I do appreciate it more than you guys realize. So let's keep going, man.
It's going to be more isolated, and in order to stay in power, they're going to have to repress their public population way more.
Yeah, they have to. For people who know history, it's the Pol Pot move. Pol Pot was brutal. But once the smoke cleared and he was up, then guess what happened? That's where you get the killing fields. He just took everybody out, every citizen. This is worse than Castro. Castro took out doctors and lawyers and people. Remember, Castro did it. So never mind Pol Pot. Let's look at Castro, what he did to the educated, to the people that were there. It was miserable. And what Castro did in those 3 years,
Anybody who likes Fidel Castro can go suck it, dude. King Elaine of Israel, what up, dude? How you doing, Brony?
How anybody on the liberal side has ever seen him in a positive light is odd to me. But that's what you're going to get. Exactly what he said. And we've seen it. We've seen Pol Pot. We've seen Castro. The war is over. The West backs off. And the citizens get slaughtered.
I think if Iran, IRGC survives, the Iranian people who protested against it, oh my God. They're going to experience hell in ways because guess what they officially don't have? Who officially has their back? Nobody. They're going to be, the level of suppression.
And they're not armed, and they have no way.
And they're not armed, and they're not protected, and they can turn off the internet, and they can, and they can do. It officially gives the IRGC so much power to say, we can do whatever we want to you, because the most feared man on earth the last 40, 50 years, we went up against him and we won. So if we can beat him, what do you think we can do to you? That's what's going to be told on Iran.
ET is saying, you're almost to 10K, brother. Exactly, dude. We're getting really close to the 10,000 subscriber mark. Thank you guys. Everybody who's subscribed, I just want to say thank you. It does help the channel grow in a lot of ways. Even getting to 10,000 subscribers, it's been a tough one for sure, but it's been worth it because I know that the reward. I know that once you get to 10,000 subs on YouTube, man, it doesn't make it like super easy, but things start coming to you a lot more. People start coming to you. People want to subscribe more. People want to be sponsors more. So it's a bigger deal. So getting up to 10,000, I'm still technically a smaller channel, but it's still a big deal to get to even 10,000 subs. So to everybody, I want to say thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. And to everybody who's become a member, it's only 99 cents a month to become a member, by the way. So our memberships are pretty low in price. That's our first tier. Our second tier is $1.99. We kind of have the second tier kind of because I think we're kind of forced to.
Iranian state TV every single day.
Yeah.
We beat Trump. That's what they're going to say.
It's only 10 to 20% of the population that supports the regime, too, by the way. So, I mean, is it out of fear that they didn't revolt? Is it because we took a half measure and we weren't prepared to go all the way with it? Like, it doesn't seem like it's
They're
that much
unarmed.
force.
They have no militia.
But, like, we have assets in there, though. Like, we have Mossad agents undercover in there. I'm assuming we have CIA agents undercover there. Why can't we smuggle in weapons?
They admitted that they killed 3,000. We're saying that they killed at least 30,000. So you're in a protest in Iran, and they're coming at you with machine guns. Oh, by the way, you know, some of the IRGC guys said, hey, I'm not going to shoot these citizens.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they don't.
Hired Iraqis. And they brought Iraqis into the country to kill the Iranian citizens. This is a brutal,
wild, man.
Horrific,
very much so,
sponsor of terrorism, repressive regime.
Absolutely.
That would turn, in order to survive, turn itself on its own citizens. So, I don't know. Maybe you could smuggle stuff in there. It seems very improbable to do the logistics that you would need.
So big.
And by the way, they got 47 years of entrenched power in this country. So it'd be it would be a big dislodgement. I think again, Trump was told, rightly or wrongly, there are 3 or 4 secularists. If we can get them in power, CIA, Mossad can work with them, and we could end the regime and we end the terrorist nightmare.
Yeah.
And the Israelis said, hey, we're not having that. We're going for the failed state.
And guess what? If that's the scenario, and Israel went for the failed state, and then if I'm Trump now, and I say I thought this was the plan, you went more aggressive than we planned on going, I don't have your back now. I'm out. So I wouldn't be surprised if, knowing Trump's profile of how he is, he just says, we're out, we've done our part, we cleaned it up, Gulf states, you know, all came to us. Now we're together. We're at least.
Do you guys think that Trump's going to back out? Just let Israel handle the rest of it? Because honestly, I mean, we've already crippled the majority of the Iranian military. So Israel should be able to go in with their military and do what they got to do. In theory. One would think. So, I mean, the U.S. involvement should be minimal, and we should probably get out of there as soon as we can, you know? Get out as quickly as possible. That's the way I see it, you know? People will probably disagree with me on that a little bit, but there really is no reason to stay longer than you need to stay. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong.
It's unified. We know the enemy is Iran, but I'm not going to do anything else.
He won't do that. Can I tell you why?
He doesn't get tricked into thinking there's actually uranium there.
You think Trump's going to get tricked into thinking there's uranium there?
Oh, you guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. We're currently sitting pretty at 8,770 subs. Once again, we're at 8,770 subscribers. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being part of the journey. We're trying to get to 9,000 as quickly as we can. I think we're more likely to get to 9,000 subscribers by the end of the month than 10,000. But, you know, one can hope, one can dream, one can think big. We're going to try for 10,000 anyway. And we're going to go for the gold.
Yeah.
So you think the end of this is not here yet? You think the worst attacks are not here yet?
Oh, yeah, no, I think this is going to be drawn out. I mean, unless they get extra savage, like you have to get more savage with, you have to clear out the Strait of Hormuz, you have to hit more targets in Iran.
Nothing really left to target, exactly.
The reason why I think you have to do that is because you're in too deep.
Yeah.
You go to a club with
It's a
your
half measure
friends.
so far.
You go to a club with your friends, okay? So guys start talking to each other, okay? And you motherfuckers, you got your own crew of 10, they got their own crew of 10. They're going through it, okay?
Of course, PBD goes to the club all the time. God, he's creeping.
All right. So then they punch.
It's over
they
9,000.
punch, Great, no problem. Punches is no problem. Then one of your guys goes and spits in the leader's face.
Uh-oh.
And you know this is a leader of a gang.
Yeah.
What do you think is about to happen tonight?
Yeah, brawl.
Oh, it's not a brawl. Spitting it.
Yeah, but take the guns out.
Oh, you better be ready for anything and everything. If they that and that, we spat in their face.
Yeah.
Of the leader.
Right.
And we said, here's what we're doing to you. So now we're so in too deep. To me, you know, the part about, you know, trying to juggle two ideas at the same time, right? The one side, which is like, hey, we made our point. We've done our part. Let's get out. Let's think business. Let's think economy. We're good. Let's move on. The other side, hey, Marco, what do you want to do? Hexit, what do we do? We are so in too deep in this thing. What are the generals recommending? The ones that we trust. Hey, we know what Israel's going to tell us. We're so close. Let's finish the job. They're about to, you know, we know what Reza Pahlavi and his followers are saying. You know, we are so close. We almost have them. The people, they're about to defect. They're about to defect. And you're like, I'm not seeing a lot of military defecting and siding with you. You keep saying they're going to defect, but we don't see anybody publicly defecting. I want to tell you guys what's going on with us. We're hiring aggressively. Nearly 50% plus of the employees that work at Valuetainment, any one of our companies, whether it's the Valuetainment Investment Group, whether it's David Consulting, whether it's Manect, or Higher Metrics, or the production team, or any of the stuff that we do.
Oh, God, what's PBD shilling now, dude? Let's take a look.
From here, they move here to work with us. If you're looking at the different jobs that we have right now, we have, I don't know, 30, 40 different job openings. Rob, if you have the clip to show on working over here, if you want to play that clip, and then at the end, I want to give you guys a tip. Guy sends me a text. A lot of
He wants to give a tip. Tap it with your tip.
people send me texts saying, hey, Pat,
Tap it with your tip.
Can you put in a good word in? My best friend's nephew applied. You know, I applied. What can I do to get up there? I'm going to give you a tip at the end what to do to be a differentiator, because our HR team only looks at people that do this one thing. But go ahead and watch this clip. Go for it, Rob. Many times when people think about Valuetainment, all they think about is a podcast. But it's a lot more than that. It's not.
Yeah, it's all it should be, dude. That's all it should be.
9 companies working together on an 11-acre
Pat Bet David's such a grifter, though, dude. He pisses me off.
campus. If I was to give you,
I mean,
here, you'll see.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a grifter, but I'm on a smaller level. I'm grifting a little bit on a smaller level. Okay, nothing wrong with that.
HR department hiring, talent acquisition. We have full stack developers that are working on Manect and Higher Metrics. We have a full-fledged events team that puts together events with thousands of people. We have a merch department designing the latest product. We just launched the FLB shoes made in Italy. We have a marketing department. And if you go to the complete opposite side of the building, 50, 60 people making calls, working for David Consulting, sales, setters. And then on the complete opposite side of the campus, there's a full-on production company with editors, shooters, creating content, doing podcasts. Then you can drive down a couple miles and go to our private boardroom cigar lounge with members only. Regardless of...
Oh, dude, I'm going to hang out in the cigar lounge? What? God. I love how they have a cigar lounge, dude. I mean, I guess... Can you legally have a cigar lounge in today's area? I guess you can, technically. I don't know.
What it is, working at Valuetainment, every day is a surprise. You could be walking into work and right next to you is a governor, is a billionaire, is an athlete. We are hiring a...
I need to make some Garza shoes. I mean, honestly, there's probably websites... there are probably websites that would let me create my own... I mean, I already use Teespring, but they don't let me create shoes. I will say, though, if there is a company out there that lets me create my own storefront, creating Garza shoes, that would be pretty funny, actually. Michael Garza. Yeah, I think people would love to buy some Michael Garza shoes. I mean, people love to buy Pat Bet David's grifter shoes. So, I mean, like, people would love to buy my grifter ass shit. I'm pretty sure they would.
Aggressively, but vitamin isn't for everybody. For the right person, this could be the last company you ever work for. So if you're watching this and you want to learn more, go to vt.com.
Yeah, I don't feel like actually constructing my own shoes. I might. I don't know. Maybe I will.
/careers and apply now. Perfect. So now when you go to vt.com/careers and you apply your resume, you're going to get an email to do a 5-minute AI interview. If you don't do the AI interview, they won't look at your resume. So apply, submit your resume.
Oh, I get to do an AI interview. Fuck that, dude. Hell no.
But we don't
Pat Bet David sucks, dude.
hire anybody without the AI interviews because we want it to be an unbiased feedback that we get from our reports afterwards from Hire Metrics. So if you want to find out more about different jobs that we have, again, go to vt.com/career. Apply now. Looking forward to hopefully working together soon. If you enjoyed this video.
I did not. Okay, let's keep going, man. Pat Bet David's grifting. I'm grifting, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I'm a grifter, but then again, maybe I am, man. Oh shit, ChatGPT uninstalls are surging. Let's take a look.
After the government blacklisted Anthropic for refusing to let the Pentagon use cloud without safety guardrails, and yes, that's how I like to pronounce it now.
Cloud?
Boot sommelier Scam Altman, love it, swooped in announcing that OpenAI signed a deal with the Department of War, which is not actually renamed, but that's what people are calling it. ChatGPT uninstalls surged 295%. Cloud shot to #1 on the App Store.
Shit.
And OpenAI employees signed an open letter supporting Anthropic.
Damn, dude. Uh-oh.
Altman admitted that the deal looked...
Hey, look, I still use ChatGPT. I'm still a supporter of ChatGPT. I love it. I love Chat. I'm a ChatGPT fanboy, dude, for life, dude. Maybe not for life. I don't know. I mean, look, GPT 5.4 has been incredible. Just as a heads up, I mean, it's been unbelievable.
Opportunistic and sloppy.
It was.
And said that OpenAI is amending the contract to prohibit domestic surveillance of Americans and to bar intelligence agencies like the NSA from using OpenAI without a separate contract. Okay. According to The Verge, though, the Pentagon never budged on its terms.
Yeah, as far as my understanding goes, their contract just isn't as tight as... I got this from Lemonade Stand. I think their contract just isn't as tight as Anthropic's, and what it says is that it doesn't say that they can't do that. It says that they have to follow the law.
Well, OpenAI's former head of policy...
Well, and what the hell would the law be in that instance? You know what I mean? That's my question. What would the law be in that instance, you know? That's my question.
Research came out and said that employees should assume that OpenAI caved and is just framing it as not caving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? But like the way that they caved is that they said that they have to follow the law, but then if I remember correctly, the Pentagon can just like not. So it actually just means nothing. I think that's how that works.
The autonomous weapons ban is similarly weak. It only applies where current law or policy requires human control, and current policy doesn't.
Exactly the point. Yeah.
Oh, no, we were getting to that.
Yeah.
We were getting to that.
Interesting. Yeah, let's take a look here. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to subscribe to the channel. I mean, this has been huge. We got a lot of subscribers even on this particular stream right here, which is wild. Like I said, we're at 8,770 subs. It's wild how huge the show is getting. It's wild that we're getting to where we're at right now. And so to everybody who's taken the time to subscribe, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. You guys are keeping the show afloat. You guys are keeping the show alive. Yeah, I just don't know what to say, man. Let's see, what else are we going to react to real quick? Oh, I guess we'll watch CNN.
We have reached a milestone when it comes to President Trump's approval rating.
Let's
CNN
take a
chief
look.
Data analyst Harry Enton is
Oh, this guy.
here with that. So what is that milestone?
You know, I took a look at all the polling, averaged it all together, and we have now reached the year mark. We have now reached the year mark
I don't trust this guy, but let's keep
in
going.
which he has a negative net approval rating. So we have been talking about this for a long period of time. According to my average of polls, what we've been looking at is every day since March 12th, 2025, President...
Before we watch any more of this, I do got to take a whiz real quick. So bear with me. Just got to take a quick whiz. Okay. So let's keep watching, man. All right, you guys ready?
Trump has been underwater, and we've been counting up the days. We've shown this slide a number of times, and we have now reached the point in which Trump has been swimming with the fishes for a year.
So not so happy anniversary.
No.
So
unlike ours working together.
Underwater is always a happy
I
anniversary.
know. Love.
Underwater overall, but really bad with one voting group.
Yeah, really bad with one voting group. John, you know, we...
I don't think he's as underwater as everybody thinks he is. I think the only people who answer polls are people who are left-leaning anyway, so.
We've spoken about this independence, independence, independence. The center of the electorate. We have been talking about how Trump has been just downright awful with them. And I decided we're going to look back and compare it to other presidents this century at this point in their second term, compare it to George Bush, compare it to Barack Obama, and look at that. 38 points underwater at this point. That is worse than Obama by 20 points. That is worse than George W. Bush by double digits. And of course, George W. Bush's second term went way off
Katrina,
the rails.
Iraq.
Yeah, I mean, independence. I'm pretty independent. I don't think he's doing that bad.
Ultimately, the Great Recession as well. So that is not.
Like I said, I think a lot of people who do polls, who do polls tend to be left leaning, so they probably hate Trump by default.
By comparison,
No, you don't like
Trump.
that.
Why? I mean, what don't independents like?
What don't independents like? What don't the overall electorate like? Are you focusing on the right issues? Are you focusing on what people actually care about? And if you look right now, you look at a Fox News poll that recently came out. Look at this. Say the Trump admin is focused on the wrong things. 60% overall say that the Trump administration is focused on the wrong things. Look at that. 78% of independents say that the Trump administration is focused on the wrong things. I mean, how does that work? How does that work politically, John? I don't understand how that works, especially if those numbers hold to the midterm elections. That's a big freaking problem.
Well, it may not be working as you look forward to the midterm elections. So how have predictions changed about whether or not Democrats can take back Congress?
Yeah, okay. So, look, we've been talking about the House, and pretty much every historical marker, all the prediction markets, all the polling indicates that the Democrats are in the catbird seat when it comes back to taking back the House. But how about combining it with the United States Senate? That is taking back the whole enchilada, taking back all of Congress. And what we see is the Democrats' chance of doing that has been rising on a stairway to heaven, my dear friend. And what we see there is that Democrats at this particular point have been increasing those odds. It's not yet at 50%, but it is clearly rising. And that is something that I think is quite shocking, because a lot of folks like myself thought the Democrats would take back.
Hey, thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button, though. The more subscribers we get, the better. You guys have helped the channel grow in a lot of ways. So I want to say thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. You guys make this show go round, man. You guys make this show go round. You guys are incredible. So thank you for subscribing to the channel. I really mean that, you guys. Like I always say, the more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. It helps a lot of things grow on this channel. You know what I mean? Wink, wink. But no, thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button, man. You guys are incredible. And let's take a look and let's keep going, man.
Back the House, but the idea of taking back the Senate as well, that is a pretty big deal.
I want to start with the political moment that we're in right now.
Look, I mean, President Trump campaigned and really arose to power against everything that we are seeing. And that is the beginning of his political challenge here. He campaigned against forever wars. He campaigned against the idea of this intervention in a way that supplants the America First thing. So now Republicans are left sort of scrambling to try and catch up and explain what is actually.
Odin, what are you talking about now, dude? So we got a guy named Odin in the chat constantly. I don't even know what Odin's doing half the time. Bro, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? We got Odin in the chat doing his thing, and have fun, dude. Have fun doing what you're doing, man. Trying to figure it out, but yeah, if you guys can, though, please subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. Yeah, just the simple act of subscribing really goes a long way, and we're trying to get to 8,800 subs by the end of the show, but I don't know if we're gonna quite get there. We're getting close, but not quite. But I'll accept that, though. I'm just very appreciative of everybody who's taken the time to subscribe to the channel and just be incredible. Yeah, Odin, do your thing, man. Do your thing. Do your thing, bro.
Going on, and really by the day, sometimes hour by hour, he's losing some supportive key voices, like Joe Rogan, for example, yesterday, who was very supportive of the
Joe Rogan. Don't need him.
President.
Maybe we do. I don't know, but
raising serious questions about what the U.S. is doing there. And I think part of that is because President Trump still has really yet to explain in a coherent, a consistent view what the objectives are here. They've sort of been all over the map, when it's going to end, when it's not, what the objectives are. So, and the administration also clearly.
Trump has been an incredible president. He's been the best. He's been the greatest president of all time. Straight up greatest president ever. Trump is the man. That's all I got to say. Sorry, Darth Slayer. I'm not going to pretend I'm somebody I'm not, just so you could subscribe. Trump's the man. Straight up.
Is not necessarily helping
T-Dog,
him. I mean, it's
baby.
so striking the degree to which the cabinet secretaries, for example, have been not necessarily consistent with their comments either. Like the Energy Secretary, for example, Chris Wright, as the New York Times reported this morning, and we've reported as well. I mean, he was essentially sending the signal that the gas prices, the oil prices, that's not going to be an issue here. Well, look, it absolutely is an issue here. So it is, even the cabinet did not
Trump's the man, dude.
Prepared for what was to come.
Yeah, and of course, part of the challenge that this cabinet has is following the bouncing ball, and the bouncing ball seems to be what the president is saying and what his message is, never mind the actions, at any given moment. Our colleague, David Goldman, has terrific analysis on CNN.
But yeah, that was pretty much it there. Let's see what else we got. Seeing what else we got on here. Give me just a few moments. Well, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about at the moment. I think I got nothing I want to talk about at this exact moment. Let's see. Is Tony Robbins right about annuities? Interesting. I don't think annuities are that bad. I mean, if you're already old, I mean, an annuity is not the worst thing in the world, but honestly, I think that if you're not old, invest. Look, investing is a good thing, and I think that, I think if you don't invest, I mean, I think you're really screwing yourself over. And, yeah. Give me a few more seconds. It's funny, man. I got swing trading index ETFs that are small cap, U.S. and international are really a good thing. People don't give it enough credit, man. Andrew Yang. I like Andrew Yang. Let's take a look.
Andrew Yang. He's the founder.
I am a fan of Andrew Yang. He has got some interesting ideas, and I do like to explore some of the man's ideas.
Founder and CEO of Noble Mobile, a former Democratic candidate for president and New York City's mayor. He's also
Andrew Yang was like one of the only Democrats I was willing to vote for. I didn't want Bernie because he's too communist, but Andrew Yang, I would have voted for if he would have been the top candidate in the Democrat primary. There was a huge chance that I would have voted for Yang. Huge chance. But
the author of Hey Yang, Where's My $1,000, which debuted last month. Good morning to you. You got the book right here. We got about a million things to talk to you about AI.
And normally I would be against universal basic income, but with the takeover of AI, my tone has shifted. My tone has shifted with the takeover of AI a bit.
We want to talk about New York. We want to talk about taxes. Where do you want to start this morning?
I just came from an AI conference out west, and holy cow, they said to me that
what we're going to see in the next 6 months outstrips what we've seen in the last 10 years because the rate of change is on a...
Well, yeah, I mean, the compound growth of AI is out of this world. What we see now in 6 months is going to be even crazier in the growth rate. I mean, look, AI keeps getting better and better and better. There's just no denying it at all. And I think the longer people deny it, the worse it gets, you know.
Hockey stick and heading up. And I got to say, I'm pretty up to date on this stuff, and it blew my mind on some of the stuff I was seeing.
In terms of what? What did you see?
Well, there was one company that is selling autonomous...
I'm still trying to get OpenClaw to work on my laptop. It's been a little bit of a pain in the butt, and I'll tell you why. Mainly because my laptop is not necessarily... It's powerful, but it's not really powerful enough to be, like, super good at research, like having an AI bot do research and stuff on it. So I may have to use, like, one of those free-to-use APIs or whatever. So we'll see how that ends up working. I am kind of curious, though, but yeah, it's been kind of tough to get this to work, admittedly, on my laptop. It has been a pain in the butt.
Coding for enterprises to big businesses, and their revenue is up 100-fold in the last 12 months. So if that continues, it's going to eat a lot of the tech budgets from major corporates that used to go to humans. And so you're seeing the employment of recent computer science graduates fall off a cliff from a lot of programs. If you rewind, 4 years ago, what would we tell young people for a secure career, learn to code? And now the opposite of that is true.
So where are you on jobs long term?
Look, Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, laid it out very clearly, and he's been doing so repeatedly. He's saying we're going to automate away up to 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs in the next several years. And I
That's
believe
wild.
The easiest people to fight.
And here's the thing with how much, and this is one of the reasons why I've been investing in, like, AI and stuff like that, and, you know, making sure that I have my pulse on the tech sector at all times, making sure I'm constantly invested in the markets, because, you know, one of my main ways of making additional money is through swing trading, admittedly. And because of that, I mean, because of my ability to swing trade at a good scale, it's definitely saved me in a lot of ways. So it's going to get interesting.
Fire are the people you haven't hired yet, which again is why you see the hiring of recent college graduates heading down, and the underemployment rate over 50%. The unemployment rate among college graduates is now the same or higher than non-college graduates for the first time in history.
How do we fix that? I mean, you're a guy with big ideas. Universal basic income was one of yours. How do we fix this entire issue?
Check it out. You tend to tax things that you want to discourage and you want less of. And we're going to be in a position where we want to shore up labor in every quarter, in every organization and environment. We should actually try to stop taxing labor, because
tax the agents instead?
Yes,
AI agents?
Exactly, Becky. And by the way, Dario,
That would be interesting, to tax the AI agents instead. Don't tax labor, tax AI agents. Interesting. I mean, Yang's on a mission, man. My boy Andrew Yang's on a mission. So it's a fascinating one.
The second half of his statement, he said, we're going to automate away the white-collar jobs, and you should tax us. And since when does the CEO...
I mean, Yang was ahead of the curve on this.
A major company raise his hand and say, hey, tax me and mine, because he sees the writing on the wall, and he knows that there's this massive backlash coming their way.
An interesting idea.
How would you do it? And there's going to be an argument. Dario may be on one side, but I imagine some of the other big tech companies are going to say, please don't tax us. We need this to sort of reach some kind of escape velocity first. We don't want to, we're in this fight with China. We need to get ahead of everybody. This is a little bit of the argument made around, frankly, retail sales in the internet age, if you recall.
The argument I would make, Andrew, is that escape velocity has been achieved. I mean, these models are now going to be able to improve on their own. Like we did it. We made it. And the competition with China is not going to be won or lost based on the last $10 spent, if you know what I mean. I mean, at this point, we're going to win or lose based upon the ability of these.
I think UBI is not a bad idea. Just, flat $1,000 a month. Just, it's better than nothing.
companies to improve on their models, which right now is not tied to, in my view, the biggest danger is this backlash that Dario is concerned about. And the backlash is going to get more and more pronounced as people wake up and have their kids coming back from college and living in the basement, and the implicit social contract of like the American way.
Yeah, I think things are just, it just feels like, I think it's probably the source of some of the anxiety that I've been having lately. You know, I mean, I'm lucky I've got a lot of opportunities. I'm very lucky I got the opportunities that I got, man. The YouTube channel, swing trading, even simple things like DoorDash have been outstanding. So it's just been an interesting thing. Let's keep going.
Is being fractured.
When you hear someone say, "Oh, you know, every other disruption, it's always better. There's more jobs after technological innovation," and I keep hearing that, and it just seems to be getting more and more difficult.
Yeah, no, I think it is. It's AI is a different kind of monster, and I don't think we're as prepared for AI takeover as we think we are. But it's happening, and there's really, I've been working with I use ChatGPT, and honestly, ChatGPT has been instrumental in me getting to where I need to be with this channel and everything. So it's been a big deal. So, I don't know, man. Give me one moment, though. I was going to charge one of my pairs of headphones. Find my headphones. I have these pair of headphones I'm looking for. can't find the headphones. But that's okay. We'll keep watching this video and then we'll see what else we got going on. Let's keep going, man. Let's keep rolling.
Believe that this time it's going to be like that. Are there so many jobs going to be created from AI that we're going to replace 50% of
white collar jobs?
White collar.
There's somebody.
Is there any way that this is not a net negative for employment?
There is zero chance that this transition is not going to be rough for millions of people.
They're always rough, but then we get through it and, buggy whips, and then you're making carburetors. But this time I just don't see it.
Like rough with a capital R and an exclamation point and a giant underline. I mean, some numbers, but people know some of this. There's still over 2 million Americans who work at call centers right now, and we know AI is going to decimate that job. The big one, and Jamie Dimon referenced this just the other day, if you get to...
Yeah, I got out of the call center game in the nick of time, to be honest, so... T-Tech, by the way, watch out for that company. They're terrible.
Truck driving, then all bets are off, because this is the #1 job in 28 states. You're talking about millions of middle-aged men, for the most part, 10 to 15% of whom are military veterans. A lot of them are gun owners. So if you get to that occupation, then you're going to see, in my opinion, riots in the streets.
Forget about Uber drivers, people who are picking that up. In the
Uber drivers too, Becky. And by the way, that's a supplemental income for
a lot of people.
Millions of Americans.
How far?
Yeah, I will say, like, even doing DoorDash, that can be very much so supplemental income for sure.
Where do you think this is out before it hits?
Well, so I might have said a certain time frame, Andrew. After this AI conference, it's in the next 12 months. The whole industry right now is bracing for impact, and they see it more clearly. I mean, one of the things my friends in Silicon Valley say is, like, this K-shaped economy that you all talk about, like there's a kind of K-shaped reaction to the AI curve where some of them are not sleeping and just sitting there and becoming superpowered on these tools and and seeing what they can do. And then the other people are moving to the woods. I mean, literally, that's the reaction from the people closest to this.
Moving to the woods because they don't know what's going to happen.
I'll admit, because I've been pretty pro AI for the most part. I don't like the fact that jobs are being replaced. That does suck. But at the same time, like, I understand that AI is inevitable. So I've gotten very proficient with these tools. Like, I've gotten very proficient with ChatGPT, which I think has been very smart of me to do. It's been necessary for me to get proficient with it because, I mean, if you're not proficient with AI, man, I mean, what are you doing? I think it's good to get good at it, to get good with it. Because, man, I mean, I've been able to grow this YouTube channel by using ChatGPT for $20 a month as a private consultant. I mean, that's been a real thing for me. So where do we go from there?
To happen, and they're afraid of the
moving
fallout.
to the woods because they see that their skills are now obsolete, and they made typically, enough money where if they move to an affordable part of the country, they can hunker down.
Pack it up, and we're out.
Yeah. By
Party's
the way,
over.
the property values in Silicon Valley are going to head down as people get jettisoned from these companies. I mean,
Yeah, and here's the thing, there's going to be a lot of people getting fired from Silicon Valley, man, from these Silicon Valley jobs, because AI is taking over those too.
Laid off 40% of their workers. The other day, their stock popped 24%, I think. Yeah. So that the playbook
But
has
how
been
much
written.
do you think that? So to me, the block thing might be a head fake, because I think there was a real question about how just mismanaged the whole business
and
was.
how they
to begin with.
overhired during the pandemic.
Right. And so there you have the situation where it's unclear how much of it really is AI. I'm not suggesting, by the way, AI is not a feature.
I get it.
But I think there's sort of with that example, which I think we're now using as sort of like the headline, there's sort of an interesting nuance. It may very well be that it's the canary in the coal mine, if you will, because we'll see other companies do something similar that are not mismanaged or weren't as mismanaged?
No way. It's okay. Cut it to 20%. It's no way. It's great. It's great. I mean, I heard Dorsey was at Twitter where they got rid of 80% and nothing happened. So.
Yes, and I agree with you, Andrew. There's nuance in that particular company, but there's no nuance to how the stock market is reacting to layoff announcements. And so the savvy CEOs are seeing the writing on the wall. I talked to an executive at a Fortune 500 company. They're removing a whole layer. It hasn't been announced yet, talking 15 to 20%. CEO of a publicly traded tech company told me privately, 15% this year, 20% 2 years from now.
Here's the other part of that, though. I've also heard from companies where they say they are trying to figure out what the agents they've unleashed are doing. Very publicly, Amazon, what they've just kind of gone through.
Yeah, some of these companies I don't even think know how AI works. But they're just being told that, hey, you got to put AI everywhere. It's like, I don't know about that.
Where those agents were rewriting code without really asking permission in some cases. Other people I've talked to at companies have said, we don't even know how many of them are out there or what would happen if we tried to shut them down.
There are going to be some real implementation problems and bumps in the road. And I think the Amazon protocol of having a senior engineer sign off on code before it launches is going to be adopted by other companies. At the same time, again, you have this AI autonomous code company having its revenue shoot up and up because this is the future. And every company that doesn't adopt it is going to be seen as backward and
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like this is forcing companies to have to get on board with the program. And the thing is, I mean, AI is going to cut back a lot of costs for these companies, man. It's one of the reasons why I stay invested in the markets, because I never know, because these companies are going to get more and more wealthy. And it's just kind of an inevitability. You know what I mean? It's an absolute inevitability, which is kind of wild. I'm cutting my nails real quick. Sorry, guys. Bear with me here. All right, there we go. Yeah. Give me a few seconds, guys. Yeah, no, you guys just got to witness a streamer doing this. Yeah, just clipping his nails, dude. Oh, yeah. Give me 1 second here. All right. But yeah, one of the reasons why I take swing trading so seriously is because it has been a good way for me to gain extra money. With how uncertain the world feels every day, swing trading's been a good vessel for me in a lot of ways. Let me take a look and see what the markets are at right now. See if anything's dropping or raising. Well, it looks like things are going back up, as expected. Yeah, things are looking good. But yeah, no, like I said, my main goal is to swing trade small cap ETFs, US based and international based. Small cap ETFs for the most part.
Retro in a very short period of time.
Separate question for you. Have you been following this whole Anthropic Pentagon
Very much so,
situation
of
with
course.
Microsoft with this amicus brief this morning?
Yeah. I mean, it's crucial, and I think a settlement gets hammered out. I mean,
You think a settlement gets hammered out between the government and Anthropic on Anthropic's terms?
well, I think that Anthropic is a very strong legal case because the government is simultaneously saying, hey, we want to use your stuff, we are using your stuff, and then your stuff is unsafe because you're somehow like a foreign actor, and like those three things don't exist in the same bucket. And also
Yeah, I mean, it's some mixed messages there for sure. Absolutely.
Some of the government statements have clearly made it seem like this is more for speech and First Amendment issues than that you're truly a foreign actor. I mean, they're not a foreign actor. It's an American company. So I think that it does get hammered out before the legal resolution. But I think Anthropic is a very, very solid case.
You want to talk about New York? What do you think's happening here in New York? In terms of taxes, in terms of businesses coming? I mean,
No, New
a lot of
York
people
feels
were
like
out
it's
there,
it feels like an
against,
S
this
show.
current mayor when he was running, saying if he shows up on the scene, people are going to run for the hills or run for Miami or wherever you think they're running. And yet we've now had so many people come on recently, and I hear it, by the way, even when they're not on talking their own book, that there's businesses that are coming here right now in droves. Now, that doesn't mean that the billionaires are all coming here. They may be living down in Miami and flying here for a couple of days a week. But what do you think's really happening?
My friends haven't moved yet. Let's put it that way, Andrew. and there's still like a wait-and-see attitude among some of them.
Surely.
Yeah, that's been the attitude, is like, hey, I'm still seeing where he goes in this direction. I will say, and if you're listening, Zoran, the major data point for my friends and a lot of people like them is whether Police Commissioner Tisch stays on. That to them is like the single biggest public concern because Zoran has a, let's say, uneven relationship with the rank and file police officers who like and admire their commissioner. And
he seems to be sticking with her, and she seems to be sticking with him. I would imagine she sticks it out in part because she wants to be the next mayor.
So, I don't think, sorry, Jessica, if this is out of turn, but like, I don't think she has that as her vision. Okay. I think if she sticks around, it's because she knows the city needs.
Well, yeah, it's an interesting video to react to, but I got to admit, I'm streaming for almost 3 hours. I appreciate you guys. You guys have been incredible. I want to thank you. I want to thank all the people who became subscribers today. We got even more, which is crazy, dude. We just keep getting more and more. We keep getting bigger and bigger as a channel, and I want to thank everybody who's been a part of the growth of this channel. I'll admit it's been a roller coaster, that's for sure. Getting this channel to where it needs to be, and but yeah, no, I want to thank a lot of people on here just for sticking with the channel and wanting to keep watch. You guys just want to keep watching this craziness, and I appreciate you guys for sticking around and for making the channel wiry, man. You guys are making it wiry and crazy, and that's a big deal to me, man. So as long as I'm making a good show for you guys and everybody around, that's really the end goal. So I'm going to keep trying. But no, thank you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys make the show go round, and I want to do a stream a little bit later today at some point, but I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to keep watching. And can't believe it, man. We got more subs. We're almost to 8,800 subscribers. I can't believe it. So if you guys can, though, please tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow in a lot of ways. So don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Like I said, you guys make the channel grow. You guys make this thing amazing. So couldn't do it without you guys. And gonna end the stream in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Have a good rest.